Welcome back to TenTenths Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Burrell, and I'm sitting in the Kanga Motorsports studio, and I have Dusty Nixon on Zoom. But more importantly, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
We're rolling with it.
No,
We're not starting over. Virus protection.
Starting off on a good note.
Windows security is good. Just so everyone at home knows, my Windows security is good. But more importantly, Adam Nilsson is in the studio with me wearing a green shirt.
Yeah.
His favorite color.
This is Robbie's fault.
I got you a present, and it's wonderful.
Yes. It's not as wonderful as the other present you got me that I probably won't ever wear on the show.
No, you have to.
I don't really want to wear...
What type of person gets a present and doesn't wear it?
I'm not wearing a collared shirt.
Oh, come on.
On the show.
Come on. We got you to wear a tie.
Not on the show.
But you did I was show.
I wasn't happy about it.
You looked fly.
Nah. This is so it's a Valvoline performance shirt.
Yep.
And it was for the 1994 Rouen Grand Prix, which is the street circuit IMSA race that we used to have in downtown Des Moines, which is one of Robbie's
I love it. It's the best thing I never got to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, you can see my poster out of my wall right there.
Greg Kramer, my best bud now.
Of course.
After MidOhio, he announced at least one of those races.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I've been trying to find a way to get a hold of him through some sort of social media or something like that to get him on the show, because specifically so we can talk about the Rouen Grand Prix, because I know it would make you so happy.
That'd be sick.
I know it would make you so happy.
That'd be sick.
And that's what I do for you, Robbie.
And then to say my thanks, I get you Rouen Grand Prix shirts that they're trying to give away during SCCA meetings in town here.
I know that it's green, and that was
a driving force.
Mildly meant to annoy me.
Yeah, I kept the non-green one.
But I'm not totally mad about the shirt.
Yeah, there's some other color options, but I for sure grabbed the green one. And then the other shirt is a
neon challenge shirt, but it's collared.
Yeah, they didn't have any non-collared.
It's like a dress shirt.
It's a polo.
It's
literally a polo.
Hey,
huh?
The neon is a formal car.
I'm totally gonna wear it to Christmas.
There you go.
Family Christmas. This is gonna be hilarious.
As long as there's a picture, I really don't care.
My mom's gonna be like, "Are you serious about that right now?"
Yeah,
she's gonna be like, "Adam, are you dying?"
I'm as serious as my father's shirt from this weekend.
That was so good.
We'll get into that later.
I was so happy. I was so happy when
Robbie,
I saw that.
Let's do this thing I'm dreading that Dusty is not dreading because he's not here and
before we
can't
get into it.
Partake in this. So, longtime friend of my family, really good friend of my dad, Kevin Moore, contacted me not so long ago. We've talked about Kevin a handful of times on the show.
Yep.
He's the one who got the Subaru Bug-Eye shirt for my son. He's the one who has tattoos on the bottom of his feet that we talked about at one point.
Yep.
All around craziest person I probably have ever met in my entire life. And that's saying something. As regular listeners are well aware. He got a hold of me and asked for Robbie's address, which I regretfully provided to him with no other information. So I don't know what we're getting into. And then I see that not only that, but he then took the time to wrap whatever it is he sent us in styrofoam so that we can't see the labels.
And I've done a really good job of not looking at what it was.
So this is a surprise for all of us.
Yep. He
sent a letter.
He wrote a nice letter.
Which I have already had to refute.
Oh, fucking.
Robbie, what are you doing?
I've hit the wrong hotkey.
Is this your first day?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I remember my first podcast.
Jesus
Me
Christ.
too. Good day, Robert. Robbie, responsibility. Handsome Rob. That's a great way to start.
Oh, no.
Not sure what your current one is, but since you are so famous, I feel we're close enough I can ask. So on behalf of Back Alley Racing, Adam's dad's old group, I present these. These. It's a
whole bag of stuff.
A bag of goodies that I put in the fridge. I'm hoping that was the right choice. It was a big box that showed up.
It was a big box.
But then it was just,
I saw it.
But then it was just these things.
Okay.
Anyways.
He heard about what happens to glass bottles when they get shipped to Iowa.
Yeah.
So
that's
Top
true.
of Chico.
Anyways, long-time listener, first-time caller. If I had known Adam would have gotten so worked up by my request, I would have done this a long time ago. Which means yes, I'm sure to do it again.
God damn it.
Unfortunately, this is not that rad. No, sorry, he doesn't like that now. Too popular. Let's go to something else that's old school. Cool. Was just one of those things I saw in a local shop, and I thought you guys could have some fun with them on the podcast. But since he called me out by name on the show,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to up my game
Oh, no.
and send something really special next time. Probably. Maybe not. Not sure. But surely. Regardless. I hope you have some fun with these. A.K.A. Teasing Adam, of course. Kevin Moore. Wait. Ito Kimasu. Kevin, I don't know what that means.
I don't have any idea.
Do you know what that means, Dustin?
It's probably some Japanese taekwondo
No,
thing.
I mean, I butchered it. Ite Kimasu.
You'll never get it right.
ITTE space KIMASU.
You'll never get it right, Robbie.
Ite Kimasu. I
don't
think.
Doesn't matter.
But Kevin's
We'll go with that
address is...
Yeah, let's totally do that.
If anyone wants to send Kevin his address is... So I assumed I need a bottle opener, so I got one of those too.
Yeah.
So this is...
What is this?
That's just a box.
No, let me see that. I think that's the box, isn't it?
It's a box.
Is it the box these things came in?
Yeah, so I think they're the same.
They look the same.
They're green.
Yeah, they're both green, which is not a good start.
It's a green bottle. It looks like they're the same. Styrofoam is around them. They are cold now.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, mine's like way tighter than yours.
I've seen these things before.
What is
I've
it?
always been a little nervous about it.
Fluids Soda Company, green cooler. He sent us coolant to drink.
Yeah, he sent us antifreeze. He's trying to shut our kidneys down.
Whoa.
Yeah, what a jerk.
It's made in the USA. Pure cane sugar. That's it.
That's all it does say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Carbonated water, sugar, natural flavors, citric acid, and natural coloring. Those are all. So this is they're trying to trick you here, Robbie.
So it's an antifreeze soda.
They also, I've seen they make a motor oil one, but that one says cola right on it.
Oh, this one just says green cooler.
So is it a? Oh, it's just a twist off.
Oh, I did it the cool way with the opener.
It's just a twist off. If
No,
you're
no,
a real
they're,
man like
no,
me.
no, no, they're not twist offs. They're pop offs.
Nah,
no.
It's fine, Robbie.
There you go. Cheers. Since I know this isn't gonna be bad.
This is fairly safe. This is just soda.
That tastes like proper ethanol or ethylene glycol.
Aptly. I don't hate that. That's pretty good, actually.
That's a lot of sugar.
I don't know if I'm disappointed or happy.
I'm really happy, but like I don't need that type of sugar. It tastes like a Mr. Freezes. Those frozen popsicles.
Oh, like the ones in the plastic.
Yeah, the little plastic stick that cuts the side of your mouth.
Yeah, except
those.
that this one's carbonated.
It's not a lot of carbonation.
No, not a lot, but still. I don't hate it though. That's fine. I'll drink the whole thing.
Yeah, it tastes like a Mr. Freeze. Like a lot. Like a lot.
It's very Kool-Aid.
Maybe that's why they call it a cooler.
Ooh.
There you go. Should I have frozen it?
Then we're gonna die because it's gonna shut our kidneys down later.
It doesn't have caffeine, so I think we're good. I mean, I don't need this type of sugar before bed, but whatever.
We'll burn that off in the show, Robbie.
It's gonna be a good show.
It's gonna be high octane now.
As long as it doesn't say like glycol on it, I think that's what the stuff is.
Isn't that the stuff that kills you? I know that like they always talk about how sweet tasting it is.
Yeah, that's.
And that I know I've lost more than one barn cat to it.
Anytime that I have a lot of bugs in my shop, I leave a little dish out.
For a while, I had a drain pan of antifreeze in my shop with a dead mouse in it. I just left him in there as a warning to his friends.
Yep, I've poured it straight into the trash can before to get rid of bugs. Yep, get out of here. It's effective.
Jesus Christ, Robbie.
But yeah,
Dear EPA,
it's fine. It evaporated.
this is a joke.
It's
We're
gone
never
now.
Serious.
This show is for reference only. It's for comedic purposes.
Remember when people used to dig a hole, line it with loose gravel, and pour oil in it?
Yeah, like up
was
until
the thing.
semi-recently.
That was a thing that people were told to do
Yeah,
by popular science.
Popular Mechanics.
There you go, popular mechanics. Have you seen that picture? Dusty?
Possibly.
It's like a drawing from like the 40s or 50s in a popular science or popular mechanics, whatever. And it's like how to dispose of your oil, and they show them just digging like a 8 to 12 inch deep hole and putting some loose gravel in the bottom of it, and then just pouring it in the hole and covering it up with dirt. Moving on with your life.
Nice.
That's how you're supposed to dispose of oil.
That makes me think of in Fight Club, they like painted over a sign that says you use motor oil to water your plants or something like that.
Yep.
As part of their like chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
From dust it came to dust it shall return.
Yeah, I mean it's called fossil fuel.
Yeah.
And fossil stuff. It's fine. It just goes back in the ground.
It's just dinosaurs returning back to where they came from.
It's its natural state. Where else do you get oil? The ground.
Yeah. Soybeans.
Yeah, I mean, go to Texas. It's full of oil.
It's literally coming out of the ground.
They literally tap it out of the ground.
That's what I've been told anyway.
So, I mean, just put it right back in the ground.
Yeah.
So you can tap it later.
If you hit it with a pickaxe in just the right place, it'll just explode out of the ground.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen.
Liquid gold.
It's most effective if you shoot the ground to get to
Oh. See, that's why we had a Texan.
Yep.
Our resident expert.
Yeah, you shoot it in the ground with your 6-shooter.
Cacao.
and it spins your hat in the air.
You got to catch it with your 10-gallon hat? Is that the deal?
Yeah, that's how you get the first 10 gallons.
Oh, okay.
That's how you know it's
Test
good.
it for purity?
Yes.
Interesting.
Then you bless it with the Bible they give you at the border. Everybody knows that.
That's what the border's for, too.
Yeah, exactly.
For oil hunting. Makes sense now. So
I should take offense to this, but
You are
we can
not
just
offended
continue.
at all.
We'll just continue.
you're not like the best Texan I've ever met.
You're kind of like the opposite of a.
I mean, and I don't mean that in a negative way.
I try to be somewhat self-aware, so
Your lack of Texas edition vehicles is a little disappointing, frankly.
yeah. After spending 14 hours in my dad's like mostly brand new truck, I might be in the market for a Texas edition truck soon.
I don't know. Have you ever had a problem forgetting what Texas looks like? The shape, the outline of Texas?
No,
It's never been an issue for you?
no. It's
Have you seen that shit, Robbie?
No, tell me about it.
Like when you drive through Texas, like every overpass has a big silhouette
yeah.
of the shape of the state of Texas, like plastered on the
Yeah,
side.
it's like a tramp stamp everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Texas.
Shit's out of control.
just in case you forgot where you were.
Yeah. No, and if it's not the outline of Texas, it's a big star.
Yeah, that's
everywhere.
true.
You guys don't have the outline of Iowa on everything?
No, actually,
On anything, really.
I think there's one on our state flag.
I think there's a picture of our skyline of Des Moines on the bottom of our license plate. It's just a line across the bottom.
It's just a flat line.
It's a flat
That's
line.
our skyline.
That's our
Yeah.
skyline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like our license
makes
plates
sense.
do
I'm good
have the
with that.
state capitals.
No, because there's some windmills on there, isn't there?
I don't remember.
On the current design?
You mean the ugly one? Yeah.
I don't think it's that ugly.
The colors are really bad, but yeah.
If there were things, if I had to list things that really affected my everyday,
The license
what a
plate's not one of
license
them.
plate looked like is pretty low on that list.
Couldn't care less.
So,
We used to have the space shuttle and an oil rig and a cowboy on ours in various positions around
Houston,
the
we
plate.
have a problem.
That's exactly how I would picture it.
Yep.
I like them now, though. They're pretty plain.
Next time you go off track, and
What makes you think I'm going to do it
Into the-
again?
if you go off track
thank
again,
you.
how about
I
that?
appreciate
Into
that.
the grass. I want you to say to yourself, Houston, we have a problem.
I was super calm. I was chill.
I saw the video. I was upsettingly calm, honestly.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Actually,
So-
it was weird. But anyways, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We will get to that. Off-road excursions. But before we get to that,
Where do you want to start?
do you want to start with... 'cause I feel like let's start with Techboss Motorsports.
Yes.
Techbosscompany.com, TEKBOSS company.com for all of your electronic scooters and four-wheelers and other fun thing needs. We used the absolute crap out of them this weekend. Had to charge them twice
Yeah, at
because
least.
everybody kept stealing them.
Constantly.
And we sold some,
Uh-huh.
and rightfully so because they're awesome.
Uh-huh.
And I'm kind of disappointed that we don't have more because I didn't get to use them as much as I wanted to.
Well, there is...
I almost broke out the box that hadn't been bought yet because I felt like somebody needed to use it. I'm like, shoot, it's already open. Now we have to buy it.
That would be kind of a dick move, but I also kind of support
He would have got
that.
his money eventually.
I mean,
From
yeah,
somebody
probably
would have bought it.
I would have had 3 of them sold, but they didn't want to put them together themselves, and they all live in Des Moines. So
Yeah, they can just drive over and
yeah,
get them.
I said we can arrange pickup in Ankeny if you would like.
Yeah, that'd be no problem.
So,
But you got something.
yeah. So Don sent me a new product alert today, which looks pretty cool. It's a little 4-wheeler. It's a gas powered 4-wheeler. 110cc 4-stroke 4-wheeler he's got now. So I assume that means when he says that it's a new product that means he has it in stock.
Okay.
I think. But yeah. It looks like fun. So you're
Sorry.
going to show the people, Rob?
Yeah, I am.
I'm just going to sit here and
No,
click
I
on
lost
things
my
and
ability to
not.
find my tab. Like it won't pop up on the bottom.
So
Technical difficulties all day apparently.
C:/
I don't know what that means. What happens when you do that?
I don't want to do it.
It's a file directory path.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but I don't need that. I just need my taskbar on the bottom or my it won't pop back up.
Robbie and I are not. We're kind of computer.
This isn't working
illiterate.
for me today. Okay,
We are computer illiterate people, quite frankly. We're not very good at being millennials.
No, that's the best part. I can use the program, but like actually functioning to get there quickly and optimally, not good.
I think Dusty is what they call an elder millennial.
Yeah,
Because aren't you like right at the cusp of not being such? Because you're a few years older than me, right?
I'm 35. So.
Okay, so you're only a year older than me.
these guys
We're
are
pretty
old.
close to
Yeah.
it.
You guys are so old.
I'm the age that I remember when there wasn't an internet. So
I remember dialing.
I remember dial up.
Yeah, I remember dial up.
All right, good news. I got the taskbar back. We're good.
Jesus Christ.
We're good.
Jesus.
So tell us about this new product that you can use the code 10tenths podcast to get 10% off.
Is it 1010ths podcast?
Yes.
Oh, I've told it wrong to people.
We've been saying 10tenths.
1010ths.
Maybe if you just call
should just
and
set
just,
up.
and just say,
Like, that's what I tell people.
just call.
That's what I tell people.
Then you
Get
can
a hold of Don. Talk to Don.
He'll
Tell
hook
him
you-
I sent you.
Yep.
We'll figure it out.
And then you get it. He'll make like it all set up for you and go pick it up.
Yeah.
Be good.
Side note. If you do have him put it together for you and you go pick it up, it is a little bit extra.
That's fair.
Time's not free.
No, unless it's my time.
Well, that's
My time
different.
has no value.
That's different, Robbie. Clearly, we've been doing this podcast for free for way too long.
Because my time has no value, Adam.
So anyway, he sent me this today. I think that means he has one in stock. It's like a kid-sized ATV. I rode the kids-sized electric dirt bike.
Yep.
It's super rad. He does have one. He didn't have the demo model put together when I was at his house, but he does have one that's 2 inches larger.
Ah.
I think in every way.
Okay.
Which would be
Just
great.
just
Could you imagine, Robbie?
Scaled up.
Could you imagine 2 inches larger in every way? Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be great.
Amazing.
Everything would be better.
Anyway,
He should be able to make millions with that idea. You're talking about a 4-wheeler. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
anyway, those are super cool. I really like. If you're looking, I think my opinion of it is if you want one to sit down, the motorcycle form factor is better than the scooter. Because he does have sit-down scooters, but I'm not sold on them.
No, I like the stand-up scooters better.
So Dalton bought one of the like 1600 custom lithium-ion packed ones that Don builds the battery pack for. And we lovingly refer to it as Death Machine.
It's a little terrifying.
It's so at first it's really fast, but then like once you get used to it, it's not like that bad.
No, it's not bad.
Once you get used to, but
Like a race car.
yeah, just like a race car. You got to roll into throttle. You can't just like hammer down. You got to roll into throttle. But yeah, Don builds his own battery pack for it. Takes like 40 pounds out of it because of the lead acid batteries, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, that one took some getting used to. The smaller one wasn't so bad, but that one kind of scared me at first.
Yeah.
Then it really scared me when Dalton was riding it.
Dalton was like getting serious lean on it. Don keeps asking me to take pictures of things when stuff like that happens, and
It's too fast.
well, not only that, but like, have I ever been the picture taker guy?
No, it'd be so blurry and crappy.
And I 98% of the time my phone is dead anyway.
And this weekend, you're really bad about that.
That's not just this weekend, Rob.
But like you were exceptionally bad about it this
No,
weekend.
it really was. Actually, I was better about it this weekend than I have been at other events.
That's fair. But you're just exceptionally bad at it.
Yeah.
At events.
Full stop. No, full stop, Robbie. Right now, it's 20%.
Uh-oh.
I'll make it through the day.
15%.
Yeah, but see, yours probably will last like 6 months that way.
That's because I don't use it.
Yeah, I do.
Actually, yeah. Yesterday we were watching TV, Jess and I, and there was a commercial for like T-Mobile and the free phone they give you. And I turned to her, I was like, that phone is light years faster and better than mine. And they're giving it away for free.
You don't have to live like this, Robbie.
Phones are expensive. Race cars are expensive.
You don't have to live like this.
Track time always takes priority. Always.
Have you priced a set of A7 and R7s lately?
A mixed batch of.
Yes. We'll get there.
Did we talk? No, we didn't talk about that the last show because you didn't know yet.
I didn't know yet.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll talk about the scramble.
Anyway, hit up Don.
Techbosscompany.com. Otherwise, there's a contact me. Get a hold of Don. Tell him what you want. Tell him we sent you. He'll hook you up.
Should we open this up?
Yeah, we've been doing this for a few minutes. We'll just open it
Presented
up
to you by Factor Fabrication.
for all your cage and railing needs.
Yeah. Few people were talking about actually maybe having to hit up, even like from large distances, hitting up Mr. Booney Boon this winter for cages because they can't find people around them to do it.
I have been asked multiple times already.
If
I have not told Booney that.
If we turn Booney into like a cage, like a race car cage maker, even part-time, because
He's going to hate you even more.
I think that will kind of annoy him, and that makes me giddy.
You're not wrong at all. My advice to him was call him now because they're super busy.
Yeah.
So like if you want to get it this winter, you should probably call like right now.
There's less people that work there than you think.
Yeah, it's a pretty small operation, and
It's
they're
a very
busy as
small,
hell.
and they're super busy, but they make some amazing stuff.
Yep. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, you better call like right now and see what your options are, so you can drop it off and have it there during the winter, so it's done.
Is Booney stateside?
Yes, he should have been
Is
home.
he back from gallivanting across the globe,
Yes, he should be home.
watching
as of
race
yesterday.
cars go really fast around
Le Mans.
street circuits?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I think he should have got home Tuesday.
We should have him on the show talk about it sometime.
Yeah, I talked to him about it already. He's in.
January sometime.
Yeah, like way later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
When it's not at all relevant anymore.
So give us a full race recap, Booney.
Yeah. You have to dig through my social media to find it. So.
Factorfabrication.com. Use the code 10tenths. You won't
That's
have a
not true.
freaking clue what you're talking about, but use the code.
This week I wanted to talk about some interesting usage of automotive engines in aerospace.
Yeah.
Specifically, the greatest plane ever made. Come at me, bro. The SR-71 Blackbird. So I don't think that they're going to get any argument on that statement because it's the truest of all statements. So apparently the thing they use to start these engines, because you got to get, if I understand this correctly, and Robbie, I know that you're an aerospace expert
No.
because you work in aerospace, therefore you're an expert, because that's what people think about me and internet.
Obviously.
If I understand this correctly, at least with these crazy engines, they had to have them spinning enough to like get them to start working.
Probably.
And they would use a V8 out of a 1961 Buick Wildcat.
So it's got to weigh like
do that.
1,000 pounds and have like 100 horsepower.
I don't think it's that heavy, Robbie. Come on now.
500 pounds?
That's probably not all that far. Have you ever, like, I bet Dusty has, so he can back me up on this. Have you ever picked up cast iron heads?
No.
That giggle makes me.
I don't think I
yeah.
think they've always been aluminum.
They're wild.
Unbelievably
I
heavy.
grew up in a machine shop. I've been asked to move many a cast iron head.
Yeah. Like, oh, small block Chevy head. It has the word small in the description. How bad can it
Can't be that bad.
No, it's terrible. They're so heavy.
So it's got two of those.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think this is really cool. And anytime I get a chance to talk about the SR-71, seems like a reasonable thing to do.
You can't argue with that. So is it like in like
No, so they had a cart,
Okay.
a start cart.
Yeah, and it uses 2 of those Buick engines.
Oh, does
in
it?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't read this in like 6 months. I've been sitting on this one for a while, so it's a while. I don't remember it that well. But the Buick engine, the Wildcat, so the valve covers are almost vertical, which is weird because when you think about V8 engines, they're always like, at an angle, in a V, if you will.
Right.
And so the head, but it's not that I mean, obviously the cylinders aren't straight up and down. They're still at an angle.
It's a U, but
it's just that the way the head is shaped, the valve cover sits on it flat.
Yep.
So it's kind of weird to look at. It's an interesting looking engine, all carbureted and such.
It is very strange.
Yeah, these were popular with drag racers back in the day. You can find pictures of front engine dragsters with them.
Yeah. Yep.
They're actually like really powerful.
I mean, define really.
I think they
powerful.
were at the
Relative.
time.
Yeah, relative to the other ones at their time.
I mean, my 2007 or whatever it is Honda Odyssey is probably more powerful than a stock Buick Wildcat. But anything with enough compression and nitromethane can be fast.
At least one pass. Yeah.
I mean, at the time there, they probably were more as concerned about strength as they were about anything. So,
Yeah.
it's got good, strong castings. Just shove more nitromethane in it. It's fine.
It's fine. That's what they're supposed to do. Like they're better if they're like made with a little extra dirt.
I mean, considering the fact that not that many years before that, Ford was making flathead engines with Siamese exhaust ports, meaning that the 2 center cylinders shared an exhaust port.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anything's better than that, and people still use those. So
Yeah, and the valves were in the block.
the valves are in the
air
block.
had to-
Yeah,
Yep.
The air had to come in the side of the block and then go up and around and over and through and then back around and over and through and then back out again.
Efficient. That's what that is.
if you're bored and looking for something to do, look up flathead Ford V8s.
Okay.
The distance we've come in engine technology is kind of staggering.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that.
Just like you look at that, you're like, that was dumb. Who thought that was a good idea?
And then also look what people do with them still today, like at the salt flats with them.
Yeah.
It's crazy what people do with this, completely antiquated engine.
I remember the first year my dad and I went to watch Drag Week. We were in Topeka. It rained there.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, right.
Shocked.
Was Gridlife there the same weekend?
Every time I've ever been to Topeka, it rains. It's out of control and annoying.
Pretty damn close to every time.
Yeah, for every time for me. And I've been there outside of road racing events.
Yep.
So, but anyway, there was a guy there who had like a Model T or a Model A that had been turned into, the stereotypical race car of that time. And he was running in a class that like has some period correctness to it. Do they have a gasser class? I don't know if that's what he was in or what. I can't remember anymore. But he had a flathead V8 and he was like one of the slowest cars there, but like it was still one of the most impressive things because despite sure, we watched Larry Larson make like a low 7-second pass in a air quote street legal car, truck, but, and he was running like 14 or 15 second quarter miles, and like the leagues of difference that was there was astounding. But the car was like, it takes a lot of work to make one of those little engines do 100 miles an hour in a quarter mile. Like a lot of work. And that guy has spent a lot of time not only refining that and making it powerful, but also making it reliable enough that he was, or maybe he's just crazy enough to try Drag Week, which Dusty can attest is stressful at best.
Yeah. I can't imagine doing it with a flathead and an old period correct hot rod.
Yeah.
But as I think as Abe talks about with one lap, doing it the sketchy way is the right way to do it. So
I still think Abe is wrong.
I think you got to do it at least the easy way once.
Abe's argument about one lap and time attack are polar opposite arguments, and I don't quite understand what he's trying to get at there.
What's his argument for time attack?
So he thinks that like Sunday Cup is the class that everyone should race in because it's cheap and it's reliable and you never have any troubles and you're just out there banging laps. And then he goes, but in one lap, you should run a car that fucking breaks down all the time because otherwise you're missing out on the experience. Well, Abe, which one is it? It's one or the other.
I think he's back.
You're talking about 1 week of just pure hellish torture versus an entire season of pure hellish torture. So
Yeah, but at least you spread it out.
Yeah, you can deal with it one day at a time, not 1 week at a time.
I mean, if the car doesn't run, you just roll in the trailer and move on. That's not how it works at one lap.
No, you're screwed.
If your car breaks down and you're in Florida and your trailer's in Indiana, what are you going to do? Which is a totally realistic thing.
Which happens.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So, I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, SR71s. Have either of you ever seen one?
Yeah, because I saw the one in Lincoln.
Oh, you have been to that air museum?
Dude,
I didn't know.
I'm a nerd. I do that stuff all the time.
I didn't know.
It's like it's a roadside attraction and it's a nerd thing. Of course I hit it.
That's my favorite exit in... I mean, it's not really setting a bar very high, but it's my favorite exit in Nebraska for sure. Because they have...
It's got more than just corn. It's awesome.
Well, on one side of the exit is a drive-through like safari park, a wildlife safari park.
Oh, yeah.
That's funded or associated somehow with the Omaha Zoo. And then on the other side is Custer State Park, and they have like caves, and you can go camping there, and there's paddle boats and mini golf, and there's this giant lodge thing, and hiking trails, and a water park, and all the crazy cool stuff you can do. And then right next door to that is Strategic Air Command Museum.
I didn't realize all of their stuff was there.
Yeah, it's great. Love that place. It's a really cool exit. It's all on the same exit.
I would definitely do all of those things.
And then like 10 or 12 miles down the road is one of those annoying outlet malls that girls like to go to.
Those are things I end up at too. Yes.
Yeah. So like...
That's where I buy my shoes usually.
Yeah. It's fair.
It happens.
So-
Or jeans. I get my jeans for cheap there.
Yeah.
If I don't get them at Kohl's.
Dusty, next time you're in Nebraska...
So if I ever decide to do SCCA solo nationals, this is basically
Yeah, it's right down the street.
Yeah.
It's right down the street. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, if you drive all the way up for that, we'll come see you.
I'm going to get hell for that because I just today told Josh Fettis there's not a snowball's chance in hell I'm going to solo Nats this year.
So Dusty, you should go to Solo Nats this year. Make him go.
I think I missed out on that.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I kind of messed up the. Well, we'll get to that.
It's
but-
fine. It's fine.
So
Anything more on the SR71?
probably.
No. Okay.
I don't know.
It's been a while since I read the book on it, so like all my facts and figures
Cool
are
book.
gone. Skunk Works by Ben Rich.
There you go. Everyone should read that.
Everyone should read it.
You speak really highly of that book.
It's engineering pornography.
Yeah,
It should be required reading in engineering school.
that's fair. In mechanical engineering,
All.
engineering,
Just hard-
civil engineering.
I don't care. It should be required reading. Hard stop.
They should make electrical engineers read it twice, just on principle.
Yes.
That's fair.
And industrial engineers read it 3 times.
Civil engineers learn to read because you guys suck at it. Gain some common sense in the process.
Civil engineers is fine. It's all static. Everything's static. Once you start adding dynamics, that's when it gets difficult.
Should have been a civil engineer.
See, look.
Seems like
The fluids just stay where they're at. Statics.
Let's build a rest area here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Why?
We're gonna get some hate mail for that one.
Or how about whenever you get into Kansas and the first sign you see is no services for the next 20 miles?
That's fine. You don't need them that often. You're doing 80 miles an hour. That means it takes 10 minutes to get from one to the next. You don't need services every 10 miles. It's
Unless you miss the last 3 stops in Oklahoma.
That's your fault, not the state of Kansas's. I don't feel bad for you.
Nah, you had all the time in the world to stop.
You had a gas gauge, Robbie.
I stopped when the gas was low.
I know, I was so proud.
That
of
was
him.
not my fault.
That wasn't your fault.
That was not my fault.
That wasn't your fault.
We'll get there. This rant was presented by Factory Fabrication. Use the code 10tenths.
That's not true. Oh, no. Robbie, what'd you do this weekend?
I went racing.
Yeah. We all went racing.
We all went.
Actually, I drove a car on track.
There you go.
See, you even got on track.
Yeah, I have some things to say.
Did that not open?
Some words to speak.
To who?
All of you.
Oh, that's fair.
Some things about my on-track shenanigans.
He's going to tell us how wrong we were about being on track.
What? We had the best time.
I don't know, man.
I had the best time. Dusty can attest to that I had the best time.
That's probably fair. You didn't, you
Nobody
didn't come in last.
No.
Of course,
Nobody had a bigger.
I tried
you
damn
didn't
hard.
podium like Dusty here, but...
Or you.
So, I didn't I stole his podium spotlight.
Nobody had a bigger smile on their face every time they got out of the damn car this weekend than Robbie.
Right here. It was good times.
Good.
It was good times.
Good.
So we went to Gridlife Topeka. We've been advertising the piss out of it for months.
Yeah.
Telling everybody they should go. And a lot of local people that listen and friends, coworkers, they listened and went.
Yeah.
It was great.
Super
So we had a really good turnout of people I
there.
knew.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
I was really, really, really shocked with how many people had never been there before.
That did
couldn't
surprise me
believe-
because it's kind of turned into my home track.
I don't think there was a single GLTC competitor except you.
The Kellys.
And right. Okay. You and the Kellys. That's it.
Yeah.
Tomo has worked for the SCCA before, has been to the national office, which is a mile away, and never raced there.
Did he not do a track night in America there?
I was told that Thursday was his first time on track.
Huh.
At the track night in America on Thursday night.
Okay. That would make sense. Yeah.
Apparently, he said something along the lines of, the track is this close to the office? I've been to the office before.
Yeah, you could have hit a golf ball
yeah.
to the track.
I totally missed the office on the way in, and we were leaving, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's a Pro Solo trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's the SCCA
national
office.
Yeah, that's the office.
It might not even be a mile away.
It's close. It's so close.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's kind of turned into, since RPM's been underwater and we don't really do events there anymore. It's this has kind of turned into
This is
our
a way
home
better
track.
track anyway.
The facility's incredible.
There were a lot of people who I saw this weekend say that this is one of their top 3, if not number 1, tracks that they've ever driven.
I was surprised at the reception. I expected it to be a good reception. I thought people would enjoy it. I thought that everyone would be impressed with the facilities. I thought the event was going to go great. I did not expect it to go that great.
Right.
Everyone's response was, "This is incredible." Also, for the number of cars that went home in pieces, and they still had that attitude about it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dusty.
It wasn't a good weekend for our friend group.
No, it wasn't just our friend group. It was a pretty large
there was
collective group.
Well,
Some of us got out fairly easy compared to others.
Yeah,
so.
I'm sorry about what I'm about to say, Adam Jabay. But the first few years that I attended Gridlife events regularly, they really very much set a standard for not crashing cars regularly in anything.
Yes.
GLTC did really good for a long time.
Yep.
Time Attack, HPDE, it was shocking to me how many clean sessions weekend after weekend that they would have. This year has not been that good.
No, and
I would say more Time Attack sessions finished under red flag or black flag or yellow flag than did not at MidOhio.
I was going to say Topeka wasn't that bad.
No, but MidOhio was bad. Either cars were blown up, cars were in the wall, cars were whatever. It was not good.
No, and it's not just Gridlife. Just so we're
No,
clear.
and it is. I'm not trying to It is what it is.
I think
they still probably have a better safety record than most organizations at any given track.
Oh yeah, I think since COVID happened, we've seen a shift in attitudes from people,
Yeah,
and I blamed it on iRacing. That people did nothing all last winter,
except iRace.
Then they go on track and drive like they did in iRacing,
Yeah,
and then they have consequences in reality.
Well, I think in general,
Okay.
people had to take a year off, and they get on track and they've just got blue balls for it.
And the red
Right.
mist is even darker red than it ever has been before.
Yeah.
And then you compound that with series like then that I'm just going to relate it to the ones that I'm somewhat familiar with. So I'm
Yeah.
going to say Gridlife, WRL, where the competition has gone up exponentially
Yeah.
in the last few years.
We had 2 straight build years.
Yes.
Instead of a build season, we had a full build year for a lot of people.
Yep. So I think a lot of people were anxious to get out there. They're competing at a higher level than they have before against people that are also competing at a higher level. So they're pushing it further than they're ever done before. And then stuff happens.
Yeah.
So it's and I think we did see that quite a bit at Topeka, where people were pushing it a lot.
And this is a track that,
Will sneak out and bite you.
and nobody knew it before this weekend.
And I'll be the first to say that track was slippery in spots that it normally isn't slippery.
You said yourself that like turn 12 was
Turn 12
a different animal than you've ever experienced in the past.
Turn 12 was super weird because I've never had issues there.
And you said it kind of felt like it was actively trying to kill you.
Yes. So normally what I do for 12 is I'll go through 11, early Apex 12-ish, and kind of hug that the apex and follow it through the corner, and then kind of use my throttle to kind of push the ass end out and kind of control where I go.
What we were told in the beginner session at the National Tour 2 years ago was that 10 through 14 is an autocross.
Yes.
Shortest possible line through there. Apexes be damned, racing lines be damned. Find the shortest possible distance from A to B and use it.
Yep.
And the primary objective being to set up 14 as well as you can to be on throttle as early and as smoothly as possible, so you get as much speed down the straight.
Absolutely. Yeah. So 12, I really good. Like that's where I really use a lot of throttle control through a turn more than anywhere else. Couldn't really do that this weekend because I felt like if the car kind of got away from me, it was too far gone. Because in one of my races, I was taking the corner, being mindful of who was around me because I was in traffic the whole time, and all of a sudden the ass end just gone, and I drifted and then was able to catch it and bring it back and not lose any positions. But there was something weird about turn 12 and even turn 10 was slippery. I watched my video where I spun out in 10. Mm-hmm. I don't really like. I was clearly my fault because I unbalanced the car, but like
You were going in there hotter than I think you had done in maybe most of the rest of the weekend.
I was pushing it more in race 4, and I think I did it a lap too soon, or my tires weren't quite there.
I know that you had kind of put a target on the back of Bill Griffin.
Yeah, but I had that for 3 straight races.
Right, and I think you were good and tired of looking at the back of that BMW.
I was.
And that it was time for him to look at the back of your 350Z in your mind. And
You're not wrong.
You know, it happens.
Or the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Just look at something that's not the
anything but the back of that stinking BMW, you know?
Yeah, so Bill's the nicest dude.
Bill's great. I talked to him a lot.
He's too nice. I like Bill.
We can kind of quick jump through my stuff. Mine was, I wouldn't say uneventful because it was really great racing. We had my biggest issue was I go out for practice and I thought I had my brake stuff kind of figured out, and I get on track and I'm like I'm pumping the brakes because I have like every turn I have to hit my brakes to get them set because it feels like there's air in them. I have to double pump everything, and it's like what the fuck is going on? I've bled these. I've gone through them. Like the pedal's firm. Like what's going on?
Yeah.
The only thing I come up with was that I was at the end of the life of my pads, and then my in my head because I hadn't really experienced this before. I was like, okay, maybe the pedal doesn't have the travel it needs to push the big brakes all the way on the caliper.
Right.
Was my logic. I was like, the only thing that could make sense. I'm trying to find a picture. So, I mean, they had about a centimeter of pad left on them. I mean, like, they weren't cashed.
Is it even that little? I think it's more than that.
More than a centimeter? But either way,
I don't know how big a centimeter is. You're talking in metric, and I live in English
it's at least a quarter inch.
standard.
How about that? It's about a quarter inch.
Yeah, I'll give
Not
you
quite.
that.
Between an eighth and a quarter. And I was...
I don't know. I think it's a strong quarter.
Okay.
Maybe even 3/8.
It's not a 3/8. There's no way.
It's a strong quarter, though.
We'll go with a quarter.
There's plenty of life for a session there.
I thought I had all of Friday left on those pads.
That would have been 2 sessions.
2 sessions.
That would have been testing
It would have been practice and qualifying one.
And one qualifying, which you had 2 of this weekend.
Yep. I was convinced I had for sure 1 day left on those pads. No worries whatsoever.
Yeah.
And normally that would be the case. But what happened on Friday, like I couldn't use my brakes. I had to like double pump, and even then it didn't feel right. So I come in, I swap out pads, and luckily the wheel welds are super easy. You just pull the pin, you open them up and pull it out and drop new ones in, and couldn't be easier. And go out for qualifying, and I think I did like a few laps, maybe 3, 4. Same thing. Brand new pads. I even went out. I went and bedded them. Like everything felt great on the just on the road right outside of the track. I'm like, okay, we're good. As soon as I get on track, it's a little better because the travel isn't as much. But after a long straight, right, or even after like some tight turns, I'm like I don't got any brakes. I got to hit him twice. So I'm talking to E-Man. He's like, oh yeah, the guy I brought my 350Z from said that the 350Z wheel bearings are flimsy garbage. So you got to replace those with 370Z or GTR ones because you're getting pad knockback. I had never experienced pad knockback before. As soon as I figured out what it was, I could adjust for it. Was fine the rest of the weekend. Just using my left foot to tap the brakes to kind of reset them, and then use the brakes. But I was like worried about what the hell is going on here. Like, am I suddenly gonna not have brakes and just be dead? But luckily that's all it was. But yeah, thanks to E-Man for remembering what his previous owner had said about his Z, because I looked it up, and sure enough, it's a common thing on these flimsy, cheap, crappy wheel bearings in the Zs.
Huh. So the 371 just bolts in place?
So is the GTR, apparently.
So
and I think some of the Renos, I think, do too.
Is that just the wheel bearing or the whole hub?
The whole hub.
Okay. Yep. You should totally get GTR ones.
Yeah, pay the premium for that? No, I'm good.
Come on, Robbie. No. GTR parts?
Purely just to say that you got GTR parts.
Yeah,
they're the same. Boy. They're all the same.
No.
Yes, they are.
No, they're GTR parts, Robbie.
Anyways, but Z1 Motorsports does a really good job of on their website, they show the 370Z bearing versus the 350Z bearing, and it's like 20 millimeters longer and thicker on the...
There you go, speaking them not American numbers again, Robbie.
It's 20 millimeters.
I don't know.
It's like almost an inch.
Yeah, I was going to say 3/4 of an inch.
Okay, I'm with you now.
25.4 is an inch, so...
I should know that, like, way better.
Why do you know that so quickly? You live in American. You have a 70s Camaro.
Yeah, but whenever I do alignments on the Z, I do it in millimeters because it's way easier than trying to, like, I can just think, oh, that's 3 millimeters versus like a 16th or an 8th or whatever else.
You're not wrong.
It bothers me that all of our engineering drawings at work are in standard.
Despite what I have spoken thus far, I firmly believe that one night we just need to go to bed, and the next morning we're metric.
That'd be amazing.
Like, because they're like, oh, there's just so much to change, and it would be so hard. Like, well, the longer we wait, the further we're kicking that problem down the can.
Pull the Band-Aid.
So let's just fucking fix it.
We're just counting on everything going up in flames before we have to get to that point.
You know what? Well, not that far off of it.
You ain't wrong.
China uses the metric system, don't they?
Everybody does, except for like 3 countries. But yeah, so once I got that figured out, I was able to adjust. So I do think it was really slowing me down throughout the weekend because I was braking earlier than I wanted to, braking twice basically. I know it's like through 10. I would brake at like the marker 4.
Uh-huh.
But then I'd be carrying way more speed through the corner than a lot of people were, especially around the people that I was racing against, because Bill Griffin was right in front of me with his BMW. Andrew and his, I can't think of his last name, I'm blanking right now, in his orange Civic was right behind me, and then if it wasn't him, it was Ryan DeVries in his Civic.
Yep.
So like we were all real close all weekend, so we battled from start to finish. It was really fun because besides Bill always being in front of us 3, it was always a combination of us fighting. So it was really good battles, and like we come down the front straight. This stuff's making me burp like crazy. We're going down the front straight, and like we're real close the whole time. And Japan's just like cheering, clapping for us. It was so fun.
That makes me really happy.
Yep. So it was really fun because like I'm focused on like I watched the video, and like I'm kind of like beating myself up on like mistakes I'm making, or like windows were left open that I didn't jump through. And
your lap times were where you wanted them, though. Like roughly, weren't they?
They were where I wanted my baseline to be. I wanted to have a minute 50 as a baseline, because I knew I could do that. And I think that there was at least a couple seconds either with the way I was driving, optimizing my tires, stuff like that. So I left a lot of time on the table. Like I was doing a really decent job of carrying speed over Alpha with my foot in it, but I still think I overslowed once I got
so hard not to.
Yeah, so I overslowed throughout turn 1. For sure could have carried more speed through 9 probably, because I would overslow for that. So I would still do a really good job like with Bill, because he would make speed in different ways, because like he would gap me on the straights.
Yep.
But I would catch him in all the corners, and even there, I'm convinced I could have gone faster through those. But it was fun because like chasing after Bill, and like I'm watching the video, and I'm like going through 8 into 9. I'm right behind Bill, and he missed a shift. And instead of like going around and making my move, I stuck behind him by a mistake, and all of a sudden Brian DeFries is like, damn it! Just like blew right by me, and there's nothing I could do about it because he made the move and I didn't, and it's just inexperience. Like, it's like just watching the videos of just like the door's open, dude. The door's open. Go! I see it now. But in the moment, I didn't.
That's still good that you're able to have the opportunity to go back and look at this stuff and see where you can make improvements, because now you'll recognize those for next time. So there's still the opportunity to improve, and that's mainly what you were after here.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, granted, this was your best opportunity at having some familiarity with the track that might help with pace, but like. You weren't going to be on the podium, Robbie.
No, absolutely not. Again,
I love you, Robbie. Don't get me wrong.
Bringing a knife to a gunfight.
But you're not Tom O'Gorman.
Not with that attitude, he wouldn't.
Yeah, where's the support, man?
Yeah, I'm supporting you.
No, but like I'm fully aware that this car.
You saw us cheering for you, Robbie.
You did.
I know you did.
I'm fully aware that this car is not optimized for GLTC. The mail-in tune isn't exactly putting me at the front of the pack.
Yeah.
The level of, and so I got to see it last year at NOLA, but being able to see like 10, 11, 12, 13, they're right up close to the track. The level of commitment in the top 10 guys and the level of preparation and setup on those cars is just through the roof. It's just completely insane to watch in person. It's so much fun.
It's next level.
When you were at NOLA, a lot of the front runners that were here this weekend weren't there, were they?
Yes. So Coutil was there.
Yeah, Coutil was there. Tomo blew up an engine.
Yeah, Tomo lost the motor first thing out of the bat, and they were still trying to sort that car out at that point.
Fucking Johan and that TenTenths podcast sticker.
This is what I should have brought out. I could have got one more position. I should have put it on Bill's. Should have put it on Bill's car.
For sure would have had a position. I got one of those at home, just waiting for someone to piss me off too.
Yep, saving it for a rainy day.
Absolutely. Someone who needs a knock back down to earth.
Yep. But like my situational awareness and my confidence on track has gone up exponentially since the first race, because the first race was all about surviving and not making an ass of myself. Mm-hmm. Mission accomplished. Didn't crash into anybody. Only went off track like one time, and then it was fine.
Yeah.
This weekend was about battling, and I was lucky to be around people that were similarly classed, like with speed and I don't want to say driving ability, because I don't think that I'm as good as like Brian DeFries, because he's a great driver.
He's a rallycross national champion, Robbie. He's clearly a talented and capable human being.
Yeah, but we all it was a really good experience to focus on racecraft, and I was able to address some of the things. Like I'm like, okay, these are the mistakes you're making, and then I was able to watch the videos and be like, okay, I can see the mistakes I'm making, so for next time I'll be aware of where I should be, rather than like. There was one pass on Brian that I outbraked him over Alpha to take the. Yep. So he was on the outside.
That's such a scary place to pass.
Because I'm not good at setting up passes yet.
Yeah,
which is my problem.
Yeah. Well, and it looked like from the way that the front runners were racing, there's
there's not a lot of opportunities at Topeka.
This might be a really fun track to drive. I don't think it's that good of a track to race.
There's not. Yeah, it's not the best for passing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of places that you can set up a pass that doesn't have to be really aggressive. Like
Right.
And that I'm still getting used to. So like we were going over Alpha, and I was pulling on him. I'm like, all right, I'm going to commit to this. Mm-hmm. And then I outbraked him, and then was able to take the apex for 1, and then he left enough room that I could get around him for 2.
Yeah. So like we spent most of the races watching from like looking at a hill that was like looking at the entrance to turn 11 up that straightaway towards the exit of turn 10.
Yep.
And so then we could turn around and watch them go under the bridges through 12, 13, 14, and you could like kind of see them as they come out on the front straightaway. And in my head, I thought, oh, this would be a great place to watch passing. But the problem is that so if you're coming into one corner and you stick your nose in,
Yep.
for the inside, the next corner you're on the outside, and so you've lost whatever advantage you have, and that guy just takes his place back again.
Yep.
And so, there's a lot of that. The track is fast, which makes you think, oh, there's lots of straightaways, but there really isn't.
No.
And it's a lot of like switch back from one direction to the other, which makes it really hard to keep a pass and make it stick.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Yep. I know.
Not that I have any idea how to race, but
Yeah. I mean, I was like gone.
After I looked at how the track was set up and then watched the video that you sent me, Robbie, it occurred to me that it's 2 autocross courses that are connected by 2 really fast straightaways.
the back straight isn't really a straight, but yeah.
If you're in
the same top speed.
If you're in a well-prepped GLTC car or apparently Club TR car, the back is a straight. So
Or a fit.
Yeah, it's
The back is a straight. The front is a straight. The autocross courses are also straights in a fit.
yeah, it's weird. That long front straight has basically the same top speed as the back short straight.
Because the commitment level is next level in the Sunday Cup group, Kevin Head told the group, the Sunday Cup chat, and showed us the data that his fastest place is right before he's, I believe, just slowed, not braked. I don't like the word braked. It feels so
we know what you mean.
For turn 3, because in a fit, 1 and 2 is flat, basically.
That is insanity.
It's basically flat. And so while they do scrub some speed, they don't lose that much speed. And so coming into 3 is actually the fastest spot on the course for them. And he said this is the first time since he started using data that he's seen a number above 100.
Amazing. Amazing.
So,
That's awesome. But one of the things that I really noticed about myself was I was much more comfortable being like with nose to tail touching, like basically rubbing, not actually rubbing, but like, within inches of each other.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going into 3 and the picture I have up on the screen, like they're slowing down. I'm like, I'm just getting right in there. And I got right up on his bumper, and I was trying to set up a move, and obviously I couldn't really get around, but I was like starting to be aggressive and make moves, and I was really happy with myself with that.
Dusty, I kind of feel like we should have moved at least for one race. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we like it was a really good place to watch, but I kind of wish we would have gone over there behind the tech shed and watched like 2, 3, 4 area.
Yeah.
So there's
at
not
least once.
I couldn't tell that there was a good way to get over to that side because
I don't know.
Because you would have had to get to the back part of the skid pad, I think, to really do that, and that was closed down.
So I think that we could have gone into the upper paddock and then gone into that building that was straight south of where you guys were parked, and then gone just to the far edge of that building, and we could have watched them go over Alpha and into 1 and 2.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah, which they had.
And then maybe seen them come around for 4 and 5 before they disappear again.
Yeah, all those track buildings that had signs up on the fence that said no trespassing, private property. Yeah. So yeah,
it's fine.
I don't know.
You're paying to be there. It's fine.
forgiveness. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But yeah, the starts were kind of hairy because you got
because you're straight into alpha.
straight into alpha into
Maximum
1 and 2.
commitment immediately.
Yep.
It's like turn 1 on Gingerman, except way
Fast.
taller.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, same thing. I was much more nervous at Gingerman, much more comfortable here.
Right.
But it was good. It was really good. Just the only issue I ever had was crashing off a 10 into the dirt. I don't even know where that picture is. There it is. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
You weren't even the only one in that picture.
No, because you got Justin's way off in the grass too.
Yeah. So.
No, but no issues. I slid off. I don't think I even really flat spotted my tires, but like it was definitely one of those moments where I was like, felt it coming around. I'm like, I'm not going to catch this one. Didn't hit the grass, sped up.
Yeah,
and then
because that's what you do in the grass.
Yep, spun, went across the little driveway thing, came to a stop. Car died, so I fired it right back up. Checked gauges, we're good. All right, we're gonna go. Went back out on track after everybody had already gone past. Went down the front straight. Okay, everything feels fine. Seems a little louder than it was before, but we're good.
Turns out there was a reason for that.
Go through my first lap, and by the time I'm 3/4 of the way through the lap, I'm okay. We're good. Car's good. We're just gonna go. And I think that was like probably the fastest I ever came around 10. It was like getting back up to speed and
Yeah, so I could tell that like when you were out there by yourself, the like I can't hit anybody issue was gone.
yes,
And so like you were on full kill mode, and I could tell like you were going through the corners we could see. You were pushing it harder than you had the rest of the weekend.
when I was behind Bill, I was running like a minute 52. By myself, a minute 50.
Okay.
So I was 2 seconds a lap faster without traffic.
Okay.
So I think the fastest lap of the weekend I did race 4 playing catch up.
Right. Yeah. That
Faster
doesn't
than
surprise me at
qualifying,
all.
faster than anything. It was
That doesn't surprise me at all.
actually
That's also kind of the time attack Robbie we know and love.
first
Right at the end.
End of
right before,
end of the last session,
Right.
12 laps in.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, after the tires are properly dead. First race, the fastest lap I had was a minute 50 something, faster than anything I qualified.
Of course it was.
Faster in a race, man, always. Same on iRacing. I'm always faster in the race than I am in qualifying.
Why do you think that is?
Inexperience.
Is it just that?
I think so.
Or is it because there's some red mist a little bit?
A lot of it.
Is it a lot of it?
I think so.
Because I know, like, you're not the person I think of when I think of having red mist problems.
I don't think it's a problem, but I definitely turned it on for a race.
Do you?
Because like for Hallett, for time trials,
Uh-huh.
I wasn't going to take a risk.
Right.
In a GLTC race, I'll take that risk.
Okay.
Not to say that I'll put myself in a
Yeah, but we
in
won't
an
be stupid about it.
Right, I'm not going to put myself
fair.
in a stupid situation, but I'll take that risk. So like, I knew Wesley was in front of me.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I knew JB was in front of me, and he had his brand new. I got a picture of it here.
Brand new Club Sport GT4 Cayman.
Yep, because he's planning 2022 big. So he did the first 2 races with his Acura, his RSX.
Uh-huh.
And he was only a few spots ahead of me. That was my goal. Like, if I could get around Bill, I felt like I could get to, what's his name? S2000. I just added him on Instagram. What's his name? Gonzalez? Is that right?
Oh, blue and like kind of
That teal
and
S2
black.
yeah.
But the slower of the two.
Yes.
Yes, Gonzalez.
So he was in front of Bill in one of the races, and then like 1 or 2 spots in front of him was JB. And my goal, everything goes my way, was to catch up to JB.
Yeah.
Granted, he was seconds faster than me per lap, but that was my goal. Optimism,
Yeah.
whatever.
You got to have some.
But anyway, so the last 2 races, he had his Cayman out. So
Last 2?
yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize that.
'Cause he started-
Oh, because I slept through the last. The
he started.
the
Yeah, he
race
fell.
3.
Yeah, he fell asleep through race 3,
No, I never woke up.
and race 3 ended under caution. So it was a half a race, and of course my battery died on my
Why
camera.
did I probably don't want to know.
It was Robert Thorne's car had.
Oh, yeah, that was really bad.
Yep.
That was scary.
Yep.
Check your caliper bolts, everybody.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, I didn't realize that was what happened.
Yeah, the caliper bolt came out on the bottom of his brake caliper. They have an LFX swapped Miata, a GTO class WRL car, Robbie.
Yep.
And then Robert Thorne, who used to race for McLaren, so that seems totally reasonable for Robbie to be competing against him.
That is who I want to be competing against. To be fair.
Like only one of the most successful people in like has multiple solo national titles. Has I think been, if he hasn't won it, he's been painfully close to winning one lap of America more than once.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was there with Chris Lewis, who's a longtime listener, which is really weird to me.
Love it.
Yeah. But they had a caliper bolt break, I think. I don't think it came out. I think
Chris was saying he thought the bottom one had worked its way out.
Is that what it was?
Because there was nothing broke.
When Robert hit the brakes, it flipped the caliper up into the wheel barrel, the barrel of the wheel, and it basically just disintegrated the barrel.
Yep.
And that caliper had somehow fused itself to the inside of their Hoosier.
Yeah. It was
like
crazy.
I even like touched it and like
it was
one with the tire.
The tire and the metal.
The metal and the rubber are now one.
That's bizarre.
So he
lost no steering because obviously no brakes because obviously
so he was going
straight into the wall.
Yes, he was going tires.
Right.
Not just wall.
Okay, tire wall. Sure.
So he was going into 4 and lost steering, lost brakes.
So scary.
That's luckily fast with very little runoff right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Too.
So we came around for the yellow flags before they brought us in, and he was out of the car, looked okay, which is good, and he seemed to be fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, the car was a total loss, but he was okay, which is what's important.
Chris told me that they have estimated 400 hours of endurance racing on that chassis, and that they had been talking about retiring it anyway. And I did the math on that. If that's like 2 8-hour races every weekend, it's like nearly 30 races.
Yeah,
or nearly 30 weekends. It's
crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That car's lived a good life.
Yeah. Yep. It's lived a long, hard life. And it's definitely had its fair share of fun.
Yep. So JB had his Cayman out in that race, starting in the back because he didn't have any laps on it yet. Because he had just done it for HPD so far. He never caught up to me. And I think that was strictly because he didn't want to catch up to anybody. I think he was just shaking down the car.
Okay.
And then in race 4, same thing. He started in the back. I don't know if he ever caught anybody. Obviously, he passed me because I was in the grass.
Right.
And then the next lap, I caught up to him right as he was about to go to pit in. And I'm like, yay, me and JB. And then as soon as I catch up to him, he just revs at me and goes into the pits. I'm like,
that car sounds nasty.
So good. So I don't know why he didn't want to take his brand new Cayman wheel to wheel with me right after I'd just gone into the dirt.
It's kind of rude of him, honestly.
I thought we were buddies.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to...
WTF, mate.
I thought we were going to have a good battle.
Yeah.
But
he could have at least done one lap.
He could have just pointed me
out
by
of respect.
Make me feel like I accomplished something.
Out of respect, Robbie.
Yep.
Does he not know who you are?
I think he does.
Maybe you're... did you famous him? Did you out-famous JB?
No.
And he's just like, woo.
No, he was like,
timing.
I ain't trusting that sketchy shit.
Well, there's probably some truth to that.
I just watched him go in the grass. I'm not going near that thing.
I heard that guy didn't have brakes earlier. I'm not sure about all that.
It's fine. He didn't know about the brakes until now.
What if he watched your story, Robbie? You posted that shit.
Oh, he did? He did see that.
Yeah.
But that was before I realized the wobbly wheel bearings. It's fine. But he didn't want to wheel with me. That's fine.
What a jerk.
My feelings aren't hurt. Not that bad.
He's still my favorite dude ever.
Yeah, he's the best dude ever.
I love talking to him. He's too much fun.
Yep. Then my next goal, once he didn't want to race me, I was like, well, I'm going to catch Wesley.
Yeah.
And I did.
You did?
He texted me afterwards, like, I hope I left you out of the room. I was like, I didn't want you to leave me room.
No.
I wanted to battle.
Fight it.
But yeah, I caught up to him.
So that was his rookie GLTC race.
Yep.
He's been working his way through like the time attack fields, kind of trying to get to a point where he felt comfortable racing GLTC this year. Wes is a Sioux Falls native, so I kind of know him through my friends up there. Almost a local, I guess you could call him.
Localish.
We'll call him a local.
Local enough.
So really cool to see more people I know out there doing. I mean, yeah, it'd be better if he was not doing wheel to wheel because time attack's where it's at.
No, it's not.
But at least he's out there having fun, even if he's wrong.
He's right. But it was nice. We had talked quite a bit throughout the weekend because his first weekend, and just he obviously knows us to the show and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you also had given me no choice, because when I spun out, all I could see was your Facebook post on his wall that said, "Do me a favor and beat Robbie."
Yeah, this is true. I did say that.
And I made
verbatim.
Damn sure that was not going to happen.
Then it worked, didn't it, Robbie?
Yep. I've said it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. Spite is the best motivator.
The Volvo engine swap debacle with Dalton and Evan, 100% spite. They even will admit that.
They admitted it.
100% spite. Apparently, on more than one occasion when they were very nearly like, fuck it, let's just take a break. Like, the words were said, we can't let Adam be right. And they would all dive back into it again.
You're a motivator.
And I can't describe to you the joy that brings me.
They would put down the beer and the chicken wings and dive back into the car.
Yep.
I can't tell you the level of joy that brings to me. So
yeah, that's it for my weekend. I had an awesome weekend. The only thing that broke on the car was the exhaust, and of course, it didn't just like scrape a hole in it. It like broke at the flange, so now I have to replace the whole thing. But it was an OEM one that I got for like $50.
Okay.
I was joking about bringing it to Booney and say, "Hey, you want to weld this flange on for me?" But it's like such a rusted piece of shit. I'm just like, I'll just get a new one.
Nah,
It's
dude,
fine.
you should make him weld it and then not use it.
Hanging on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
I already have enough Y pipes in my shop that are all holes in the bottom.
Heartlands 2021 on the wall.
Just like spring kickoff 2021 up on next to it.
Yeah, I'm just collecting Y pipes at this point.
There you go.
No, like that's the only damage I had, and I was the lucky one.
Like other than that, car's ready for festival then, huh?
My budget is not, so I will not.
Come on, Robbie.
I will not
Come on, Robbie.
I will not be at festival. I might be at festival. I'm not driving at festival.
I'm working another angle for festival for you right now.
Yep, that'd be great.
I'm working on a thing.
Yeah, so I would like to be
duel, if you will.
I'd like to be at festival. Z probably won't be there. I have no intention of it. But budget has ran out. My wife has been in college for 2 years, and that has finally caught up to us financially.
Weird.
Yeah. So
she's on like the verge of being done though.
Yeah, we went the whole course, and it's just like we're both looking at the bank account going,
super pumped for her because it seems like she has been pouring her heart and soul into this.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was that hard.
Working her ass off. It's an accelerated program too, and she's working full time, so it's like it's been a stressor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, full time for a student, so like it's not full time, but it's been crazy.
Yeah, I've seen.
So that's caught up to us. I'm hoping I can make the budget work to do Road America. That's the plan. Yeah, the car should be ready. I should be good to go for there. Good, no big deal. But we'll see.
In related news, there's a GTO for sale. I hear.
I have a standing offer if the guy's
serious
insurance check comes through. If his insurance check comes through, it's sold.
Yeah, boy.
Sweet.
So he's giving me a yes. We gotta. As soon as the check comes in, we're meeting.
Nice.
So that might be the defining moment on whether or not we can even do anything for festival.
That's fair. That's fair.
What else was there? I want to say there was something else. I don't remember. I had a great weekend. Car's good.
I'm glad you did.
Oh, that's what it was. Head gaskets worked.
Oh,
rock solid.
Rock solid. Like no temperature issues whatsoever all weekend.
None whatsoever.
So awesome. Oil or coolant. Just
coolant was like
right where they should be.
Yeah, coolant was like at the 1/3 mark to not quite.
That's right. You don't have like a real coolant gauge.
No, coolant gauge is just the OEM one. So it's kind of like if this is the halfway mark, it's like So it's like
just a little under it.
Under halfway. Like
that's the normal 350Z spot. Yeah.
See, it's good. And then the oil temps were like never above 200. It was crazy. Like my whole like ducting was working and like the vents working.
It means it works too good. You need to close some of that up.
I should be abusing it more. Is what I'm saying.
You need to close some of that up.
Well, I think
for aero purposes.
I think the way the oil temp sensor's pulling from the pan is probably not like the
most accurate way.
It's not pulling the hottest temperature. So weird. Yeah. So as long as that's not at 290,
it's not like post cooler or something like that.
Right. No, it's definitely not.
Man, my wheel temps are rocking solid.
180 on temp. It's or on track. It's crazy.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Who even needs a cooler?
Yeah, it's fine.
Just take it out. 240. Fuck.
Yeah. No, so I know it's probably reading a little lower than what it actually is running at.
That's fair.
But it's good. Car ran great. No smoking, no nothing. No leaking. Because all the spots on the ground were not me.
Weren't yours.
Not mine.
Damn it, Austin.
Yep. Austin's like making me worried. Nope, not mine.
Not even
Not to say that it doesn't have a couple drops coming out because it's a race car.
I mean, it is a race car. It's not a Harley, but I mean,
Yeah, it's supposed to mark its territory a little bit.
a little bit.
It's not a Dodge or a Jeep product.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Ooh, too soon. Too soon.
But anyways, I had a great weekend. Before we get too far, I want to thank my man John at Petrobox for reminding me about the wheel hubs. Petrobox, mypetrobox.com. Use the code TTP15 for 15% off your box or anything available in the store. That includes dog collars, leashes, masks. Not masks for your dogs, masks for your family.
Oh, you can put a mask on your dog.
Put a mask on your wife. I don't care.
Whoa.
We don't kink shame. We don't kink shame. I've said this once. I'll say it again. Whatever you want to do, you do.
Oh, no.
If you want to use the
Why
leashes,
is this happening, Robbie?
use the leashes.
Whoa.
Use
That's
the leashes.
too far, Robbie.
Use the leashes
far.
however you want.
It's too far.
That's the other podcast you're on, Robbie.
Me and Booney's beta test podcast. If you want to use the leash however you want, get them 15% off. Use the code TTP15. Also, I got to remind myself that I need to get mechanics gloves because I put a hole in mine.
Son of a gun.
Yep.
There's a GTI one? I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Subaru one?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Subaru drivers out there.
I feel like the Subaru one should just sell like hotcakes.
It should. I'm surprised that's not the most popular one.
It probably is. I don't know.
Me neither.
Gulf liveries are life. That's all I know.
I like the R32 one with the HKS logo.
Yeah, weird.
I know. Hot boy stuff.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, that was my choice for a facial covering whenever one is required.
Oh, that does remind me too. I used the Adams Polishes glass cleaner that I got
so good.
that I got from Petrobox.
So good.
I ran out. I don't think
Robbie.
I don't think I have more.
Oh, no, Robbie.
I actually do need to go in and use the code.
Sounds to me like you need to use TTP15 to check out and buy some stuff.
I do actually. I need gloves and I need glass cleaner, and I think there's probably a few other things I need. So I actually will make a
I just want to make a small side note. I talked to John a little bit at Mido, and I'm not going to say how many, but lots of people have used this code, and I'm super proud of you guys.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. They really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a win-win for
Easy
everybody.
to get.
You get great products
Great
at a
products.
great price, and you get a fun thing that shows up in the mail every month.
Yeah.
Guess what was in last month's? Eagle Grit.
No way.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Christ, Rob.
My hands are so clean.
And his hair and his body and
My face.
He just exfoliates constantly
It's
with
just-
it.
Hold on,
Just
let's take a time.
everywhere.
Yeah, just everything, all the time. I
The
smell so
dogs
fresh.
the dogs have never been cleaner or smelled better.
It's true. Everyone is clean.
Dalton has a gallon of it, and he just keeps it to himself. He doesn't even bring it to the racetrack.
Selfish.
Yeah.
I have 2 bottles currently. I'm working my way through the one I had originally, and now I got a new one.
I think I have 2 as well.
Everyone should have 2.
I think I still have 2. I don't know.
Anyways, mypetrobox.com.
Dusty,
How was your weekend?
I don't want to do this to you. I'm a little bit surprised that you volunteered to do this to yourself.
I don't remember volunteering. I think I was asked.
I gave you an out and you didn't take it.
That's true. You did have an out.
So, but let's talk about your weekend. little.
Yes. So I'll give the Cliffs Notes background leading up to the weekend. So
shit.
What?
We forgot about my almost not making it story.
Oh, that's true.
We'll get there. You
T.O.
first.
on the play.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, Dusty. I'm totally hijacking your story.
It's fine. We'll make this short and
good.
sweet,
This
like
is-
Robbie's never known to do.
Yeah, I'll make it short and sweet. So I it's Tuesday, right? And I go swap. Or was it Tuesday? Saturday. It was Saturday.
Last week, Saturday.
Saturday.
The week before the race, Saturday.
Yep. So Saturday, I bring wheels and tires over to Randy. I'm gonna swap tires. Get one done. or about to seat it, or get the bead set. A7. Motherfucker. I've had these tires for months.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
I ordered them mid-June and just set them in the shop.
Oh, I didn't know you
unboxed
had them.
Them, set them in the shop.
I didn't know you had them. I thought you just had them like semi-recently.
No.
Oh, that's super hilarious.
I've been sitting on them like, okay.
That's even better.
We'll use them for Heartland Park. We're good. I got my R7s. We're good. Never even checked. Or if I did, it was the one on top. So I go back to the truck. A7. R7. Fuck. And I call them up, and I'm like, hey.
On Monday?
No, I called them Saturday.
Oh.
I have a cell phone.
Oh. Big timing over there.
And I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. I ordered tires back in June. I went to mount them. They're A7s. 3 of them are A7s and one's an R7. And he's like, oh, shit, I don't know if I even have R7s right now. It's like, I can get you A7s all day long.
Yeah, I bet.
And I was like, okay. He's like, call me on Monday. We'll see what we can do. So I spent all Saturday afternoon, all Sunday trying to find something like locally. I can just like...
Dude, we sent you like 9 different...
The problem was I couldn't...
None of them were local.
I couldn't get them.
No, but we were even helping.
We tried.
We probably weren't, but
Yeah,
we were attempting to help.
Yeah, so like, no luck. I'm like, okay, then I got the RRs back on. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I pull all the weight out of the car because like I have all the ballast to make
yeah.
So like,
okay.
I have ballast to make it legal with R7s. I'm like, pull all that out so I can make it legal to run the RRs. It's like 100 pounds.
Right.
So I pulled that out and I'm ready to go. So it's good to go for the RRs if I have to go that route. So I call him Monday. He's like, guess what? I have some R7s. I'll send them to you. Okay? No problem. I'll send them to you. Really? Yeah, man. Look. So they show up on Wednesday. Or no. Yeah, they shipped them Monday, showed up on Wednesday.
Yep.
Sure as shit, they're exactly what I need.
Yeah.
Go swap them, and I mailed them back the A7s. I was nervous. But what made me real nervous was that my brake pads that I ordered, because again, I was worried about head gaskets, totally forgot the fact that my brake pads were worn out. Went to take the wheels off on Saturday and realized, fuck, I need brake pads. I'm not making it through the weekend.
Uh-huh.
Order them Saturday. 2-day shipping. Guess what day they showed up? Thursday at noon. We left at 5. So like I get them at lunch and I get the notification. They've been delivered. Great. Run home from work at lunch. Open the package. They're exactly what I ordered.
The right ones.
They're the right ones.
Dodge that bullet.
I was ready to overnight some shit.
To the track.
Yeah.
Gross.
Oh man, it should not have been that way. I should have noticed the A7s months ago.
You'll never make that mistake twice.
Never again. And I should have remembered to order pads. But I was just so focused on the head gaskets that I was like, well, I'm not going to order pads because what if this isn't the fit? Like, what if the heads are cracked and I can't I'm not going to waste my time ordering pads I won't be able to use if all this shit's broken.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario stuff.
Right.
But
all's well that ends well, Robbie.
It all worked out, and the car held together. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody. I didn't win.
You've used up so much luck on getting things at the last minute lately.
Are you talking about the 24-hour turnaround time for my heads getting decked?
So silly.
or the transmission piece.
Yeah.
Or the last one in the country. Yeah. Yeah.
Allegedly.
I think that the reason it grinds like that, or did grind like that, I need to go verify this, but you can adjust the shifter
left to right.
Yeah, and I think that the bracket was too far over to the right, so I would just overextend it every time I'd go into fifth, because I never did it into sixth. It would always into fifth. So I think what was happening was I would too much power on the lever, and it would grind. Because it was kind of doing it at Heartland Park way better than it was before, and I was kind of looking. I was like, you know what? I guarantee that's not adjusted correctly. So I got to fix that.
How do you adjust that correctly?
I think you put it in fifth, and then you adjust the cap all the way over so that you can't overextend it. I think it's that simple. I never did it. I just adjusted it so that I wouldn't overextend into reverse by accident. So I think that.
Okay.
We'll find out if I'm right. I think it might be that simple.
Okay.
And it could completely be my fault.
What if that's what Austin Hurdle's been fighting on his
No,
because he like changed shifters and all kinds of.
He's got that really expensive fancy shifter,
Yeah.
and his was getting stuck in fourth.
Yeah,
which is a totally
it's
different
locking itself in fourth.
Yeah,
just
which
staying there.
Which is totally separate.
Are those
issue.
the same transmissions? Even though he has a 370Z, do you have any idea if that's a CD009 in that car?
I don't.
Either of you Z boys?
I don't know what the 70Z stuff is.
Yeah, I don't speak 370.
I only speak their hubs.
The 009
hubs,
the 009 is all I ever see for people that are talking about doing swaps and stuff, about being, the strong go-to.
Is that the one you have?
Yeah,
I believe so.
He should, and I do.
I knew you did, but it wasn't the one that came in the car.
No,
from the factory.
No,
but Dusty, you have the HR, right?
Yeah, mine's an HR. Like, I talked to LOJ that does all the crazy, like, comprehensive swap kits, and they told me that I could do an LS, like a pretty high power LS, and use their adapter and keep the stock trans and everything else behind it, and like not have any issues at all.
Yeah, that CD009 is known to be a pretty like solid LS transmission swap option as well in cars.
Yeah, they were saying like 500-600 foot-pounds of torque, no real issues.
Yep.
I mean, short of like, don't throw 10.5-inch slicks on it and go try to drag race it, but
so do that then, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to test it, right?
I mean,
you'll break the axles and the diff first. I think.
Exactly.
See, this transmission's not the weak point. Axles are way easier to replace than transmissions.
It's true.
Yeah,
so much cheaper.
So what you're saying is you're shopping around to replace your engine? Is what you're telling me?
Oh, I've been looking at LS swap stuff for like 10 years with that car. So.
Well, when you pull that engine, let me know. I could use a HR.
The problem is that I think if I've gathered this all correctly, context clues here over time, is that engine's not going to come out running.
I can fix it, man.
Oh, no.
I fix things. Have you ever seen the movie Jay and Silent Bob?
No.
Oh,
Boy, I just really pissed some people off there, didn't I?
All right, well, Jay and
It's the most comprehensive pop culture thing you've ever said on the show.
I really pissed some people off by saying that.
But anyways,
I've never seen it.
when I got the head gaskets done and the car was running and like nothing was wrong,
Okay.
all I could do was like come into the house and I'm like yelling, "I make that shit work!" And like,
Jess has got to be like, why did I fucking marry this guy?
I made her watch it one time, but like that scene where they're tricking him to talk about the clit, and he's like, "I'm the clit commander. I make that shit work." So I'm like yelling that over and over about the Z. I'm like, "I make that shit work." She didn't find it funny either, Adam.
Weird.
But I wanted to post it on Instagram, like, be like, "Yeah, I make that shit work," knowing nobody would have fucking got it. So I
don't know.
I didn't do
people
it.
Probably would have got it.
Did you get it, Dusty? He's seen it.
It's been a long time since I've seen.
I would have been out on my own on that one.
Enough weed for it.
I don't either, though. Ever.
You live in this weird world where, like, and we kind of both have this tendency at times where, like, even though we're not weed smokers, we have some weed smoker tendencies.
I like stoner movies.
Yeah.
I just don't like weed at all.
Yeah. I can't stand the smell.
No.
And it makes my nose runs just thinking about it.
I would, if I ever tried it again, I'd get fired the next day because I guarantee that's my random drug test.
Yeah, that's how
100%
life
chance.
works.
100% chance.
Especially my life.
I went to Colorado for a vacation, drug tested the next week.
I'm still not totally
Random.
convinced that
Purely random. Yeah, purely
Random.
every once in a
Colorado
while,
Springs is your destination, huh?
every once in a while at work, I think they have somebody they're trying to find a way to get rid of, and they think that maybe having a air quotes random drug test will get them fired. And I'm fairly certain that they use me as the see, you're not the only one guy, because they know I'll pass, because I have been randomed more than once, and like then a week later someone will get fired. Like, oh, I see what just happened.
Oh, man.
Steve and Nielsen. Nielsen in there.
Yeah. He's our control. Cool, thanks, guys.
Test the samples against each other.
Yep.
So anyway,
so
what happened leading up to the weekend, Dusty? Because I know you were doing some things.
Yes, so I'll preface this by saying that I choose to take a car on track that I have a huge sentimental attachment to, that we bought in 2005 and rebuilt from the ground up, which is
like
not something that I advise. What's that?
Like probably 4 times by now.
So the whole car is essentially the same, but it's had we're on our second engine. It's had like 5 transmissions in it, 2 rear ends, and we've completely rebuilt the front suspension one time. So like it is a part of the family. So my strategy for going on track with it has always been like, I'm not chasing a specific lap time or a trophy or anything else. Like job number 1 is that the car comes back in one piece.
But you got a trophy.
I got a trophy.
We'll get there.
Well, there is a trophy I can see on my screen at least.
But you don't get it. You got to come and get it.
So we've run BFG rivals on the car forever because everything we do is 200 tread wear, and the car is super predictable on them. Last year we switched over to the Yokohama AO52s and really liked them for autocross. I could kind of take them or leave them for the track because I can't keep the tires under the car long enough before they get too hot. So this year we ran the yokes at Optima NOLA in April, and then we were pretty well done with that set, and we were trying to decide what
we call that vindication.
Oh yeah, so there was so Gridlife last year at NOLA we had nothing but problems all weekend. So the whole reason, or a good portion of the reason that we went back there in April was to get the like horrible taste out of our mouths of going down there and just having the car fight us the whole time. So
we've all been there.
Yep.
So they worked really well in April. We get to the point in the summer where we've got a set of 3-year-old rivals and a set of used up yokes. And it's like, okay, we got to get some new tires that we can run for the rest of the summer to get hopefully get the car all dialed in, get ready for the Optima Invitational in Vegas in November. Yokes are out of stock. We probably should have just got a set of rivals and just driven the car and felt good about it all summer and went with that. But we've been seeing so much stuff about the Falcon 660s. We were like, hey, we'll get a set of those. We'll give them a shot. So get them about a month and a half ago. Did a local event. The car is just like all over the place for 2 sessions out at Eagles Canyon. After talking to some people, it sounds like, okay, maybe their asphalt there just doesn't really get along with like brand new sticker tires. Like we hadn't even really put any street miles on these. They were super fresh. So did 2 sessions, car was all over the place, put my old rivals on and the car felt like normal again. It's like, okay, so I'm chalking that up to just the tires not getting along with the track surface there. A couple weeks later, we go to Hallett with Robbie, and it's kind of the same thing.
You made the right choice that weekend by going to Hallett.
Did he though?
just so we're clear.
Did he though?
Hallett was better.
There's something I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. It's such a dick thing to say right now, so I'm just going to stop. I like Dusty too much to be that guy. If it was Dalton, I would have said it. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Well, now I'm curious.
There are way less walls at Hallett. I'm just saying.
I am wearing the Iowa Man Racing shirt. Oh, it's funny that you mentioned that there's way less walls at Hallett. So
still managed
second
to find one.
Yeah.
The second session at Hallett, I dive bomb into the tightest corner on the track that's kind of downhill braking. The car swaps ends with me, slides across the grass, back across the road, and backs into a tire wall at like probably 15 miles an hour by the time I got there. It's the first time I've ever hit anything solid with the car.
This is literally the only time of the weekend that I actually pulled my camera out and was recording.
Yeah.
The only time.
Yeah, see what happens?
For like, I was like, this would be a good video for like the gram. Get Dusty flying down the
Mr.
The sweeper.
TenTenths podcast over here.
Yeah, get the nice sweeper. You're like, Brown! You know, it's just that'd be perfect. And like as I'm doing, I was like, fuck. Yeah, just screeching tires, jumping over the curbs. Like,
that was kind of my fault.
This is my fault. I did this.
Oh
no. So yeah, it was at that point that I should have just said, maybe these tires aren't for us. Like maybe this setup just doesn't work. So we were playing with tire pressures, playing with shock settings, doing everything I can think of to throw at it. Cause it took us some time to get adjusted to the Yokohamas whenever we put them on there and finally figured out like, oh, it just needs like 50 pounds of air pressure in it. And then they feel great. They're hooked up all the time.
That's a lot of air. You really run 50 PSI in
no, it's more like 35 hot, but it might as well be 50 compared to what we run normally.
Jesus Christ.
And that's so the thing is we've got 11-inch wheels on the car. And whenever we bought the wheels like 3 years ago, it was like a 315 was a 315. Now a 315 is more like a 345. So on our 11s, they're pinched to holy hell, and it's you got to do weird stuff to make them work. Like I would probably be better off running a 295 on the car in these newer generation tires.
But then that doesn't start with a 3, and that's just
the
fucking
the women
tires at that point.
Yeah, the women do not flock to you if your front tire size does not start with a 3.
These are facts.
Can confirm.
This is American muscle car facts right here.
275, loser.
So yeah, after Hallett, we bent the wing end plate that got bent up in the tire wall back into shape, and I did an autocross the week before Topeka, and I did it on the Falcons again. I was like, okay, I'm getting a feel for it. Like, I think they're coming around. I think I'm starting to figure out what they want. So rolling to Topeka, I literally looked at the stack of rivals sitting there while we were loading the trailer up and thought, no, like we've got 3 days. I'm just going to like ramp up to it, play with tire pressure, play with shock settings. Like we're going to figure this out. Like, I know too many people that have similar big, heavy, high powered muscle cars that are having really good luck with them. Like it's something in my head. It's not, it's gotta be something we can make work. So, first session at Topeka, the car is just an absolute handful. Nothing feels right. It doesn't turn right. It doesn't accelerate right. It doesn't brake right. Nothing. And the biggest thing I noticed was in like the second half of the lap, the autocross section, it just felt really lazy in transition. Just like, it just feels like it takes forever to transition left to right. Okay. Stiffen compression up all 4 corners, go out second session, like the third car out in the B group, and kind of held up for a lap, get a point by, get an open lap. Car feels like better, not great, but better. And then come around to turn 12, and as it moves into the apex up against the curbing, it just straight cuts loose. Like, it loses the front and then the back. And within like, half a second, it's in the grass. And turn 12 there, it's leading up to a bridge. So there's a tire wall out there, and it pinches in the further you get down the track. So I get the car straightened up in the grass, but the tire wall is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And right before I hit it, I gave it a little bit of gas, and that like kind of rotated the back end of the car around. So it kind of hit with the quarter panel first and then glanced off. So it probably saved like just wiping the whole front clip off of it. So instead of tearing up the entire front of the car, it just tore up the entire side of the car. Yeah. And so I said a few choice words and then fired it back up and got the hell off of the track, because my dad was running in the same session in the Z, and I wanted off of the track if all humanly possible before he came around, because there was a reasonable chance that if I was still sitting there in the tires with the car all mangled up, that he would have just driven right in after me.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been really hard. As a dad, that would have been really hard to like not
just keep going.
Yeah.
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 And obviously the other thing, I didn't want to ruin that. It was my second lap of the session. I didn't want to have a tow truck rolled if the car was at all possible getting off the road, because it was obviously not in a good spot because I just hit right there, but it was right by the pit end too. So
yeah, it's the only time I think I've ever seen you like legit angry.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you angry, but you were beside yourself. You rolled up, and I could just hear you cursing through your helmet. Step up, kind of like stick my head out of the trailer, see the damage.
I just remember
ask if you're
going, "Oh fuck!"
Yep, yeah, it was bad. And then I asked if you're okay. You said no, but you were out of the car moving, and I just kind of like slowly went back to the trailer. Like, we're gonna give him some space.
I knew when he said he was not okay that he was okay in the way that I was concerned about.
Yep, physically he's fine.
And not okay in the way that I totally can understand.
Yep.
So
yeah, I got out, and I managed to pull. I looked at it afterwards. I managed to pull my helmet off without fully undoing the chin strap, but I'm still not really sure how I did that. But
Red mist anger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I just went and sat in the trailer and collected my thoughts, and
That's what you, that's what you do. That's what you need. You need that moment. That seemed to be the theme for like anyone that like mangled their car really bad this weekend. You give them a minute,
step away
by themselves.
Let them.
I've said it before on the show. Like when I went to the tire wall, or like had something like that happen, or when I spun the bearing.
Yeah.
Let me go have a walk by myself. That's the time in my life that I need a cigarette.
Yep.
That's like the only time in my life that I need a cigarette. Let me have it. Let me be alone. Then I'll talk to you once I've come to reality of what the situation, and then once I start planning my comeback.
Yeah. I just want to know that you're physically okay, that you're not hurt, and after that, walk away.
Yep. I'll be here if you need me.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. The funny thing, like right after I got out of the car, I was just like, man, I'm not like physically, like there was nothing. I was just mad. And then after about like 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, yeah, my neck is a little bit sore, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like looking back at the data, it hit at like 35 miles an hour or something like that. So
that's still an impact.
Yeah. I don't think people understand like how not fast you have to be going for it to hurt.
Not that fast.
Yeah.
Anything to zero is that's a sudden stop. That'll get you.
Yeah, like looking back, because I keep my GoPro mounted on the roll cage up in the driver's side window, and like going frame by frame, it's like boop, boop, like my neck jostled forward pretty good.
Yeah, and you got a full Hans.
Yeah, I've got a Hans, but it doesn't, like you got to move a long way before the straps catch on it. So
right.
It's more about keeping your head attached than it is about like keeping it from, you're still going to get a neck strain out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because it limits you like where you can look.
Right.
But you got to be able to make your, look left and right and actually see where you're at.
Right.
But yeah, also, so yeah, you're going to be hurt if you get a proper accident, but your neck's still attached.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, because once you kind of came to grips with things and you were able to like look past the anger and kind of like figure out what happened. You were watching video and we were going through it, and it's like I don't see anything that you did wrong. That's the frustrating thing about it, is like we're watching your video and it's just like going through the turn, and all of a sudden it's like, it's not like you like whipped the steering wheel or like unsettled the car. It was just like all of a sudden
you weren't.
Ice gone into the grass. It was the weirdest damn thing.
Yeah. So I've always, like, even when the car's not been like well set up, it was always still predictable. Mm-hmm. Like it was always like, hey, like I'm like, that was a little much, that we're going to slide a little bit here. And you just like reel it back in a little bit and carry on. And it's that the only two times in the last really like 3 years that I've been driving it everywhere. Like there's been 2 times that it just caught me completely off guard. And that was at Hallett when I ripped back into the wall, and then there. And yeah, I now my recurring thing is that I didn't like take the hint. Like whenever I hit something at Hallett, that should have been the sign of like, hey, like this isn't like, these aren't for us. We should probably just send them on down the road, and we'll go put our old tried and true tires back on and be done with it. But
I've seen like 2 posts this week on various groups I'm in about people having struggles with cars that are in the 32 to 3,700 pound range and 660s.
Yeah, they seem to not like heavy cars. That seems to be a common theme.
And the biggest thing for me is it seems like they have a real narrow window where they go from hooked to just gone.
Yeah. Well, I know that a lot of people have said they heat up really fast.
Yeah. So
it's not quite a yoke, but
right.
So like at Hallett, I had my best lap of the weekend. I think in one of the sessions was like lap 7, which I never ever do. Like that car, I've got 2 or 3 laps in me in that car, and I'm mentally done.
Lap 7. What are you doing with that so early?
you
Yeah.
can't get it done in the first 2 laps, Robbie. It's probably not getting done.
It's fine. No, you get it on your lap 10. That's what everybody does.
So
I licked my wounds the rest of the day Friday, and then luckily we had another car sitting there, so I went over, and Mr. Adam Jabay is super cool. If you go and wad your stuff up, he will let you go out in the advanced HPDE group and get some laps in to get the terrible taste out of your mouth. So
I'm really glad that you did that, though, because I think it's really important from like a mental point to get back on the horse and like, all right, I can still do this.
Yep.
Yeah. So Friday afternoon, I was just sitting there like, am I broken? Like, I've done this like two trips out in a row of just completely losing the car. Like, is it something going on with me, or was it something with the car? And yeah, getting back out and just creeping up on the pace, and the Z is super predictable, and it's obviously not nearly as high powered. So that
you don't say.
Did,
only about half.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, it's just, I was able to go out in 3 different sessions over the next 2 days and kind of just get back to a point where I was pushing it and like felt by the end of the day on Saturday, really, that I was just like, okay, I'm okay. It was a scenario that I shouldn't have put the car in to begin with, but
yeah.
It is what it is at this point. So
have you looked at it much since you've been home?
We looked it over at the track.
Yeah.
I got home and we just unloaded it, and pulled it around and put it in the shop.
But it's fixable, right?
I say it didn't look.
Yeah, no. I think mechanically it's fine. I think it was still driving straight.
The worst part is that you got to reskin that rear quarter.
So that it needs a door, a fender, and a quarter.
Yeah.
So that's where
but like doors and fenders bolt on, quarters don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, either way, it's all got to be painted, which is the bitch part of it, because that's the one thing that we haven't done ourselves previously.
Right. Yeah.
we built the whole car from the bottom up, but we know our limitations. So we've always had good people that we were good friends with, that we were able to trade out some work to get good paint work done. So
yeah. So you think you can do something different?
So that's the thing. So we haven't really made a major change to it since 2018, and we've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, the car's too heavy, the rear suspension's not ideal, the transmission's a big heavy thing that takes forever to shift because it's a T56, and so it's we've been kind of discussing what like version kind of 3 of the car is, and
yes,
doing a 3-link, maybe doing a 4-speed like NASCAR type gearbox that we can do clutchless shifting. Trying to figure out how to get it lighter without like just completely killing all of the like real Camaro aspects of it. I've never really wanted a car that you can't lean up on the fender without worrying about it cracking or something like that.
You don't want carbon fiber things on it.
Well, you wouldn't crack it then.
Real car, thin, dry carbon fiber.
Yeah, it's strong. Carbon is strong.
True.
Yeah, so I don't know. And then there's also the economical factor of all this as well. So right now we've got a 63 Chevy truck spread out across 2 shops right now that has been kind of hanging out for a year and a half because I keep distracting him by taking him to the racetrack instead of going up there and helping him put the truck back together. So
is that a certain silver?
It's a silver C10, right?
Yeah, it's a silver.
Maybe?
Yeah, it's a silver. The parts that are sitting in the one shop are silver. The other part is just a bare frame still. But so
Jesus Christ. I think it's funny because we've known you've existed for probably the better part of 5 years now.
5 years. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
He's posted pictures on the gram.
Well, I don't regularly look at the gram, so
I mean, it's like a cab.
Yeah.
And it's silver.
But he's Silver C10 on Instagram. He's Silver C10 on Twitter. Like,
What the hell is Twitter?
I mean, I assume he is. I guess I haven't seen him on Twitter in a long time because I don't even know how to get into our Twitter anymore. It's
that's how I found
taken
the show.
over by Chinese people now or something. I don't know. But it's just funny to me. It's like, no, that guy's a 79 Camaro. Like, I don't know. What's he getting
What's C10?
What's he getting at? So
it's going to be like an autocross, something that my dad can drive in Optima events and probably kick my ass in the D&E part of it with it. But
yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Hot small block, super low 315s on all four corners, and still have air conditioning and a bumping stereo, and be able to go run it down the road. And I would love to have it be something that we can, go like be competitive in the truck class at Optima, but then it's also comfortable to go out and do power tour or something like that with it too. So that's the first item of business, and then we will decide what's next for the Camaro. But until then, I got a 350Z I can still drive. So
yeah.
And the Z is the way to go. Everyone knows that.
Dude, I had so much fun in that car. Like the Camaro, I was just like, man, I just don't know how I feel about this track. Like, it's just kind of big and scary, and then
it is really big and scary.
Big and scary. It's a big and scary track.
Big and scary. So,
and then by the Sunday morning session, I'm like going into 8, like, do I really need to brake here? Like, yeah, I'll go ahead and brake just in case, and then roll back into the throttle again. Yeah.
Andy Hollis once said, he didn't tell me this directly because I was creeping on him at a national solo, or at a solo Nats course walk, but he said, if you're not sure whether you need to brake or not, you probably don't.
Yep.
That's fine.
So
there's a caveat to that if it's a 3,500 pound car that makes 600 horsepower.
That's fair.
Yep.
There's a lot of places where it needs to brake that probably most people don't think you should. But
yeah, that's probably true. So,
like Adam,
I have a few little things.
Yep, I figured.
To kind of wrap this up. So there was no live stream this weekend, as I'm sure most of you are probably annoyingly well aware of.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately,
U.S. government.
Yeah, unfortunately the FAA. So there's a giant Air Force base, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's more than just Air Force, but yeah.
And there's also an airport, like literally across the street from Heartland Park, and so the FAA would not allow them drones.
Yep.
And the way the track is laid out, where the paddock is completely inside of the racetrack, that means you can't just run the cabling for the fiber, because they use fibers to bring the video feed back to the control center, if you will.
Right.
And you can't just lay those on the ground where people are going to be driving all day long. So you would have to go the long way around the perimeter along the track. And the cost and logistics behind that were way too high for an event that was, relatively low attended. Gridlife has kind of always been where they struggle the first year at new tracks. A lot of the regulars man, I don't know if I really want to go there. I've never been there before. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of there, they're you'll get 10, 12 guys that are all right, let's just do this. And then they'll maybe talk a handful of other ones in there, and then they'll have a semi-decent turnout, but then everybody will be that was fucking rocking. Yep. So next year, everybody needs to go. And then by 4 years in, the event sold out in 30 seconds. So, which I think is absolutely going to be the case
with Heartland
moving forward.
Yeah.
So I think it's all but been confirmed that we will be back there next year. But yeah, so there was no live stream this weekend, which means that I was essentially jobless from what I've been doing with Gridlife this year. So that gave me the opportunity to kind of just hang back and watch some racing, which I haven't got to do as much of as I really like to this year, which was awesome. We posted up a lot of times and just watched,
yeah,
you know. which is kind of a pleasant change of pace. Saturday, my dad came because my dad only lives a little bit north of Kansas City. This is a little bit south of Kansas City. So he came down, he hung out with us the whole day. I think before this, my dad, he's a car guy. He's raced his whole life. Yep. It might not be the chosen racing path that he had, but I think he understands, even if I'm not driving, he understands why I do this. But I think after Saturday, he's like, oh, I
get it.
I get it. I think he had a riot.
He had a good time,
which I'm really excited about.
He was looking over the suspension on the Camaro pretty closely. I think he might be plotting his first entry.
So one of his many, or he asked us more than once, but he did say, so what do I need to do to get my car out here, being his 76 Firebird Formula, because I don't think the Trans Am is ever going to see any use like that, and it shouldn't, because it's kind of special. But I just said, you need to get rid of those radial TA garbage stones you call tires, and you need to probably put some decent brakes in it, brake pads in it, and I mean, beyond that, it's ready to turn laps.
Yeah,
it should cool, all right. To be fast or to turn laps are two different things, and I don't think that he really grasps that wholly. I don't think he even trusts me when I tell him that now. But I don't think it'd be that hard to push him over the edge.
No, not at all.
Which is a little scary,
especially if Heartland Park has a Gridlife event next year.
Yeah, I don't know that I want him on Heartland Park first. I feel like we need to
probably not the place.
I feel like
to start.
if we're really gonna push him to do this, that we find a day where RPM's having an event that we can go to, and we bring a handful of friends, and we just enjoy a day as a test and tune style thing.
Completely agree.
At Heartland Park, or at RPM instead.
Yeah, that's a much more forgiving track.
Yeah, and I just feel like that's going to be a better idea if we do this. But he really enjoyed himself. 2 or 3 months ago now, it had to have been. He says, because we've been playing this for a while, since it was announced.
Yep.
I've been really him coming to the event was probably the thing I was most excited about. So we've been playing this for a while, and he told me a while ago, he goes, I got a shirt for you, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm like, okay, but it's been so long ago, and it was such a short conversation, because I know if my dad says he's not going to tell me, that there's no point in trying to push it out of him, because I'm not going to get a hint. I'm not going to get anything out of him. He's lips sealed. That's the way he is about it. If he says I'm not telling you,
he's not going to tell you.
Don't bother arguing with him. So I didn't really push the subject at all, and totally forgot about it. And so then he shows up, and I'm not thinking about it at all. He's wearing a TenTenths podcast t-shirt. Cool. I appreciate the support. I knew he bought it.
Yep.
And then he turns around and says, Adam's dad, in giant lettering on the back. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was so happy when I rolled over on Saturday morning and saw him standing with his back to me. First, there was no doubt that it was your dad, even from a distance.
Yeah. So I know that everyone tells me, oh, you look just like your dad, and I get it, and I'm not going to try and argue it. It's fine. But yeah, my dad and I are very much the same person, just 30 years apart.
Yes.
So I think I've managed to keep a few more pounds off than he did at my age, but not a ton, and so, yeah, we look pretty much the same. I hate going to Paulina, which is the town he grew up in, because everybody knows who I am.
Of course.
If you've lived there for 50 years, which 80% of the population has, because it's kind of a bedroom retirement community at this point.
Yep.
If you've lived there for most of your life, you know who my dad is, and so you know who I am, because I look just like him. So, yeah. But anyway, at first he was asking questions about what was going on. He grasps it pretty well. He listens to the podcast all the time, so he's got some familiarity with the names and the terms and the things. But yeah, we were posted up there on our favorite spot on the hill, looking over the exit of turn 10, and Jackie Ding comes sliding through in Group A time attack with the Von Gittin Jr. line through turn 10, and like my dad's like, okay, like, that's a deal. Like, yeah, he's really fast. He's a freak of nature. I don't quite understand what's going on there. He's so fast. That car.
I literally screamed when he did it.
And like, it got progressively wilder over the weekend. That guy can drive. He can wheel.
He can wheel.
It's a hell of a deal. I think he legit turned in before he braked into 10.
Wild. Absolutely
wild. He was well past the end of the fence on the downhill part before any semblance of slowing down was occurring.
That's what it looked like from where we were standing, at least. He went fastest this weekend. I think he ran like a 37 and change.
Yeah, something crazy.
Stupid fast. Yeah. He's Jackie Ding.
Yeah.
He's wild.
He's so fast.
So, as is always the case with any Gridlife event, there was a huge contingency of Sunday Cups. Everybody's favorite Gridlife regular, Matt Williams, was there with us. As always, Matt's Fit does more laps than anybody else's car throughout the weekend because it runs all 20 minutes of every time attack session, and then also most of every intermediate and every advanced session with somebody behind the wheel. So he gets this wild idea like, oh, this is a super chill, relaxed event. Like, let's do some stupid things, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so he's like, he talks us into going 4 deep in the Fit. And we roll up, we roll through grid. They don't stop us. We roll up to the starting line, and Adam and his new like main guy, his right hand man Carson, are like looking at us. We're like, what are you idiots doing? And we're like,
we're here for some laps.
We're gonna do some laps, and Jabez's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Like, come on, man. He's like, no, my insurance won't even allow this, let alone me. And so he's like,
so we got 4 doors, we got 4 seat belts.
Yeah,
we got 4 helmets. It's fine.
Yeah. So we're like, all right, fine. So we all jump out, except my dad, who stayed in the front seat.
Yep.
And Matt is one hell of a wheelman, and like entirely too comfortable in that Fit. And so he launches from pit lane, and I took a lap with him 2 or 3 laps later, so I can attest to this being the truth. He launches from pit lane. I'm assuming by the time we get to the top or to the crest of Alpha and are headed down towards 1, that like his terminal velocity at that point, probably not that much slower than it would have been had we started out of 14, because it's a Honda Fit, and especially those higher gears are not exactly known for their accelerating. So through 1 and 2 flat, like completely flat.
Yep.
And then into 3, he just kind of lifts, downshifts, and throws the car into the corner. There was no braking there either.
Nope.
And then we hold that line, get all the way through the carousel that is turn 3, which is like a full 180 degree or maybe even a little more than that, like turn.
Yep.
Carousel, really late apex, flying down the real short straightaway into 4, and that was the first place he hits the brake. And mostly that was just to kind of put some weight on the nose so that the car would grip when he throws it into turn 4. It wasn't really to slow him down, more to shift the center of gravity. And then like he's 2 off through the inside of 8.
Yep.
Like just barely dabs the brakes to throw it into 9.
2 off for 9.
2 off for 9. Like
2 off for 10.
Yep. And then like comes into 10. He slows it down a decent amount for 10, but then it's just right back to it. And like, dude, I think he uses brakes like 3 or 4 times that entire lap.
Yeah, hardly ever.
And it's never like really on the brakes. It's like mostly for weight control more so than it is for speed control.
Yes, it's all momentum the whole time.
So my dad gets out of the car like giggling like a schoolgirl. He just did the in and out, didn't even do a full lap, which I think was more than enough for my dad, based on his riding with me in autocrosses in the past. That's definitely more than enough for him. So, yeah, that was my treat for Saturday. I was really excited that he got the chance to go. I was more excited that he got to do it than I got to do it.
For sure.
Especially the ride along thing. Like, I was so pumped that he got to do that. It was really cool. I can't thank Matt enough for being so
accommodating.
Yeah, so willing to do the silly things that he does. But yeah, so Sunday, I don't even know how much I want to get into this because I feel like I'm going to get a whole bunch of messages from people trying to tell me otherwise. But Sunday I went out with Matt in his Fit. He was in the passenger seat, and I think we did 2 or maybe 3 flyers and then came back in. It's the first time I have driven in any way. I don't even know that I've gone to the go-kart track since Time Trial National Tour.
I don't think we have.
In what was that? June?
That would be
or July of 2019.
Let's just say July 2019.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm broken or what, but like, it was fun in the moment, but we get back home on Sunday afternoon, and I'm thinking about it. I kind of been thinking about it in my head the whole way home, and then Monday, all of you guys are in the group chats, and I'm talking to Trevor, who is also there, and Austin, who is also there, and everybody's talking about how much fun they had and how much they want to go back to it and how much they already missed the racing, and like I'm actually genuinely mad at myself. I don't feel that way at all.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Like, you
that means you're smarter than the rest of us.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm more disappointed that I didn't get to do any like announcing or live stream stuff this weekend than I am happy that I drove.
I think it shows where you're.
I don't even I genuinely don't even care if I don't do it again anytime soon.
I'm the opposite. Like, I'm so disappointed that my bank account is not where I want.
I feel bad. Like, I'm mad at myself for feeling that way.
No, I mean, you gotta be honest with yourself. I mean, if you're not, it's one of those things.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Like Monday, I felt like I was genuinely bummed out by the fact that I don't want to do it.
At least, I mean, you have the live stream and the things that you are passionate about, and you're great at that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't know why.
I think taking a step back, I mean, I think it shows and I might be going out on a limb here, but I think that shows on the fact that the Omni's not done. I think that
I have no motivation to do it because, honestly, I think I enjoyed autocross more than I enjoyed that time on the track.
I think that's always been the case for you. And I think that when we lost
and now,
that group that's either moved on or just doesn't do it anymore.
Well, yeah. Now, I'm sure there's lots of people that I would get along with at the autocross events, and there's plenty of people I know there, but not the people I raced with originally.
Right.
And even still, we have one place that we can race, and it's a 2-hour drive from my house, and the races start at 8:30 in the morning, and I just don't want to do that.
No. And if you're not going to enjoy it, then... I mean, I think you'd enjoy the autocross for sure.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I'm not in a when I did it before, I had more time to dedicate to it. I didn't have a kid. I had way more normal hours at work.
Oh yeah,
I barely ever worked more than 40 at that point. Whereas now I'm already over 25 this week, and it's only Wednesday.
Yeah,
and I don't know, man. It just. That motivation isn't there.
No, I think if something shifts, that spark will happen. You'll know it. You know what I mean?
I almost have talked myself into selling everything I have and buying something and forcing myself to go out there and do it, thinking that I have to.
No, then you'll resent it. I think if you do something because you feel like you have to, you'll resent it. It's not like spite. Yeah, that's a motivator.
I'm legit tearing up about it.
No, man. We're this is a safe place. We're going to talk about things because I think Matt Williams did the exact opposite effect on everybody else.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
100%.
I think that
I enjoyed riding with him more than I did the driving.
Do you think it's simply because I'm not. I guess I'm not even sure because like autocross was the polar opposite. You took that like 10 times more serious than I ever did.
Part of me wonders if I need timing.
Like the time to do it, or timing in your life.
No, like if I need.
It needs to be competition.
I'm not a competitive person against other people, but I am the type of person that always wants to do better for myself.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so I don't know if just going out there and putting in laps is enough.
It's definitely not enough for me.
Yeah, right.
I'm the same way. So that's what keeps me going back to the Optima stuff versus trying to make my non-competitive track mod car a track mod car. Is that just like 10th and 1000th of a second, like everything counts kind of feeling through an event.
No, I think that's where I found it, like with GLTC and hopefully with endurance, it's, you know, like, because I think you saw it in race 4. You think I would have gone back out there if it was a time trials? Not a chance. No. I would have came in. Yeah. I would have came in and parked it and said like, all right, well, that session's done.
Yeah.
I'll worry about the exhaust and we'll like, I mean, at Hallett, I was fighting the head gaskets and I knew I was fighting it and I kept sending it. I was like, well, you know, we seize this engine, we seize this fucking engine, I guess. Yeah. But at the same time, it was just like, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that wasn't enough. But like with GLTC or just for me, for racing, I can, that red mist does turn on for me, and it never did for anything else.
Yeah, I don't know. I know when I was autocrossing, like the first thing I did, like sometimes almost dangerously so, was look for the timing board.
Oh yeah.
And when we ran the time trial national tour there, we had the Solo in the car. And like I remember watching that and either being mad or happy about it.
Yeah.
And like I almost wonder if that's, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I
mean, at the end of the day, you got to be true to yourself and know that what you're chasing after is something you actually give a shit about. Like there is no point spending money on something that you're not enjoying. There's no point in spending time, which is, we joke about me saying my time's worthless.
Yeah,
it's not, obviously.
I don't have enough of it.
Exactly. If the amount of time and money that we put into this hobby isn't worth it if you're not enjoying it.
Yeah.
So whether it's autocross, simply HPDE, time attack, endurance, you know, whatever, you have to give a shit about it. Like it has to be not just a hobby; it has to be your life.
Right.
Because I mean, like the next weekend I'm going back to do a fantasy football draft, and guess what they're gonna be like? So what have you been up to? Racing. Yeah, but what else?
Nothing.
Nothing. I go to work, and then I go to home and work on the car.
Yeah.
And then I race the car, and then I break the car, and then I work on the car. That is what I fucking do.
And then I go back to work to pay for all of the parts that I had to put on the car.
Exactly. Because like Bill came over here and we were talking about he was just talking like time attack, and he's like, well, what's your budget? And I'm like, well, it's this, but we know it's not going to stay this. Like it creeps. So like you have to accept at the end of the year, like this huge percent of your take home, this goes to this and this only.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that.
Yeah.
Or you don't do it.
Yeah.
And I've accepted that. And there's no fault in saying, you know what? No, I don't accept that. I'm going to do this instead.
Dude, money, we've talked about this on the show before. Money has never been, maybe it's because I never seem to have any of it, but like it's never something that keeps me from not deciding I'm going to do something. It might keep me from doing it.
At first.
But like, I'm not going out there going, I can't afford to do this. I'm going out there going, I don't want to do this.
It's not worth it to you. Whether it's the time, money, whatever. It's just
nothing
not worth
to do with money.
Nope. No,
I don't know.
I would like to see you back in an autocross car again, because like
we need an autocross program that's worth me putting time and effort into it.
Like you were the polar opposite with autocross.
Dude, I couldn't get enough of it.
Exactly. You did what? 30 events that 1 year?
I think I ran
2017, 2018?
I think I ran between 25 and 30 events.
Because you did all of Iowa region, all of DMVR.
I didn't do all of Iowa region, but I did a handful of Iowa region, all of DMVR,
Marshalltown and SCCS and the Okoboji Corvette Club, where you guys embarrassed all the Corvette guys.
Yep, I did 2 or 3 Corvette events that year. I mean, it was literally like almost every weekend that was possible to race in the state of Iowa. And a lot of them were Saturday and Sundays, because a lot of times we had like a Marshalltown race on Saturday and a DMVR race on Sunday, and I did them both.
Yeah, I remember that. You went to like triple what I did that year.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it just...
And I couldn't wait for the next weekend to go and do it again.
Right.
And now I couldn't care less.
I think we both got that way with skating too. I mean, I still miss it, but at the same time, I'm not prioritizing it.
Yeah.
I think, like we've joked on the podcast too, I was like, this is a stupid hobby. We should go skate. But then we went skating, and we really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like, I think you get burned out even if you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, then it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that time of year for me where I get burned out.
Yeah, I think that might be part of it too, is that I've not been in that headspace, because like I don't even put as much effort into these events as most of the drivers, and certainly not a lot of the other people who are like real Gridlife staff members, like Adam.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired of it.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
I couldn't be more excited to go to Midwest
Agreed.
and see the people and live the experience and do the thing. But also I'm like, man, I could just stay home that weekend.
I need breaks. Like I wasn't mad that I missed Mido.
Yeah.
I needed a break.
Yeah.
I can't do it every other weekend.
Right. Yeah. And like I already know that next year, chances are I'm not going to be able to do what I did this year.
No, I mean you've
I'm gonna have a
been
kid.
gone
I'm gonna have a second kid.
A lot.
I'm gonna have to be home.
Yeah.
So
Nope. It'll have to be what can you make work, and what do you want to make work, and that'll be a decision you have to make.
So I don't know, man.
But so since you're a non-addictive personality when it comes to the heroin that the dealers that are Jabay and Matt Williams are,
Yeah.
I think the polar opposite happened to everyone else that was there this weekend.
Yeah.
Trevor had an
100%.
awful weekend. Awful. Worst possible second track day event ever.
I don't even.
We're not going to get into it
about it because he's not here.
Nope. But he had an awful weekend. On the drive home, he was talking about what it was going to take to get him back on track.
Yeah.
The heroin hit hard.
I've spent all week talking to him about cars.
Yep.
He sent me multiples of listings for cars, different cars for sale, things he could do.
So he's hooked.
Yeah.
Josh, my friend, who he's the one I convinced to do all this car stuff to the 240 when I first bought it. Zach LePetrie, for those that have been listening for a long time. He came down from Sioux Falls, hung out with me all weekend. I
haven't seen him in so long.
I see him like twice a year. Like I just never get like we're never in the same spot.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that, because I again see him twice a year, so it's really nice to see him. And he just hung out, had a good time, threw him in Matt's car.
So glad he did.
And he's had a Scion TC, like one of the release series.
Forever.
Since forever. He built it.
Did he buy that new?
Wrecked. It was like basically new, but it was wrecked.
So he's not one owner, though.
He was able to find a Scion TC that was wrecked? Weird.
Yeah, weird, right? But
who would have thought?
The year it came out, it was the release series.
Yeah.
So he fixed it in college and then had it forever, and then it's just kind of been sitting, like he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
He might know what to do with it now because of Matt Williams.
I think that's Sunday Cup legal. I don't think it'd be very hard to make it Sunday Cup legal.
That'd be sick.
How about that?
Because he's got it completely gutted. He's like,
I don't know how much power those motors make, I guess.
Those
Maybe
100, they make between 150 and 190. I can't remember.
Well, then it's not Sunday Cup legal.
Yeah,
it's more than you realize.
Sunday Cup, but
it's just shocking to me because I'm in the Sunday Cup chat now. It's shocking to me how many cars are
legal.
How many cars are like painfully slow and way too fast for Sunday Cup?
Yeah.
My Cavalier is barely slow enough. Barely.
Huh. Yeah, I suppose it's probably got more power. Not much, but it's got to have.
Yeah. The Z24 version of that car, way too fast.
Oh, yeah. Not even close.
I would have to add like 400 pounds of ballast to my Omni to make it Sunday Cup legal.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah, that's because that's like light.
Yeah. It's like 2,400 pounds with me.
Like crazy light.
With me 25 pounds ago in it.
It happens. But like, E-Man, this is a second track day, right? Second track day?
No.
He's done more than that?
This is his third event this year.
Third event. But yeah,
I don't know if this is... I think this is his third track day as well, but this is his third Gridlife event of the year.
Okay.
First for his wife,
Yep.
ever driving on track. They've both done plenty of autocross, and they've both done a handful of drift days. I think E-Man's done quite a few more than Sarah in that respect. But, yeah, I mean, they have some time behind the wheel.
Yep.
But
they're both hooked.
Yep.
Because he actually went over to the drift pad and was like thinking about, like, I don't want to be here. I want to be back on track.
Yeah. E-Man is always, as long as I've known him,
Drift.
he is identified as a drifter.
Yep. We
Even gone as far as to say that, like, you guys should drift instead. Like, he is definitely, like, when you were kind of, like, trying to decide what you were going to do with the Z, because originally that car was bought to drift.
Yeah, originally.
He was very much pushing for that.
Yep. We fixed that.
Yeah, we ruined that,
And we fixed him.
Ruined, fixed, a little bit of here,
it's all the same.
column A, column B sort of thing.
And then Dusty over here, he's mentioned it multiple times, noticing how happy I was jumping out of my car every race.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
So I think there's a bug planted over there on that guy in Texas. He's thinking. He has thoughts.
So there is a major geographical issue with that, though.
You say that, but
It's not that, but
Ryan
it's
Freeze lives, I think, in Houston, and he has been to pretty much all of them this year.
He is a devoted man, is all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless, like...
You don't have to go to all of them, man. We just had this conversation about doing what you want. You could go to a couple. It's worth it.
So if I was going to build a full race car to do wheel-to-wheel stuff, it would have to have something else locally, and I don't like any of my options locally.
I get that.
I mean, you could always move.
Yeah, Iowa's nice.
It's cheap. Your money will go way farther.
Cost of living is about to be a real thing. So
It's great. Nah, that bubble's going to burst. You'll be all right.
That's true.
I live in one of those houses, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you own it. I mean, it's not like...
Yeah, fortunately, we're in pretty decent shape on it. So.
Yeah,
You're fine.
You're living inside of your means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Shit just works out, you know?
Has so far.
Yeah.
There's always money in the banana stand.
There's currently no money in the banana stand, but that's fine.
You've been saying that for years, Robbie, and yet you continue doing stuff.
It's gone.
You continue...
Banana stand is for sale. There's nothing in it.
You continue doing more and more and more, Robbie. I'm just saying.
It's caught up to me. I need to slow down.
You said the banana stand was empty when you were just trying to LS swap a 240 so that you could drive it again.
It was, but it
let
was
alone
empty.
compete.
It was empty. And now it's even more empty. It's fine. Shit just works out, you know?
For some of us.
We'll be fine.
Should we shut it down?
It's
It's
been
been
good.
like 3 hours yet.
220.
Oh yeah, let's definitely.
It's been a good
shut it
show.
down.
We got deep. We talked about some shit.
Yeah.
This felt like a track walking.
It did feel like a track walking podcast.
Maybe I need to talk to Scott about this
Yeah.
whole situation.
Talking about
I don't know if I can hold
passion.
it. I don't know if I can hold it together long enough to do it. I mean, at least it'll be way shorter.
Yeah, because this is like 3 of his shows.
Yeah. I don't know if I can hold it together long enough to talk to him about it.
I don't think it'll be out yet, but I did a show with them.
Yep.
And it was like we talked for an hour. I'm like, where's the
Can't
rest of
be
the
done
where's the rest of the show? I have so
Barely
much more
even
to
started.
say.
Yeah.
I feel like I left everything out there.
Robbie was like, "All right, I'm warmed up. Let's go."
Yeah,
and Scott's like, "All right, we're shutting it down."
This is like our intermission, right?
Is that the first podcast you've ever done without Michael or I?
Correct.
That's crazy.
I know it took 5 years.
I've been in so many other podcasts.
Yeah,
I forget how many sometimes I've been.
I
in.
don't get invited to things.
There's quite a few that have died.
Yeah. You were doing a bunch of those.
Yeah. I still do.
That's true.
Occasionally.
That's true.
That's my goal, is to be in every automotive podcast.
I like it. That's a good
And
goal.
live stream.
I like that.
GTA, hit me up. SCCA.
Yes.
Let's do this.
GTA especially.
That'd be great.
Hit Adam up.
I would love to do Super Lap. I would fucking kill to do Super
You
Lap.
would be awesome at it.
That would be so much fun.
You would be their. You should be doing that. You are the man for that.
I would love that.
I'm saying it right now. They follow our stuff on Instagram. Maybe they listen. If they're still listening,
Sometimes
2 hours
I'm
and
shocked at how
23
many
minutes.
people listen to this bullshit.
Listen to me, Global Time Attack. Adam is the man. That's who you want.
There needs to be a special like discount code at the very end of the podcast for like some special
There is.
advertising.
For people who actually
ApexTrackCoach.com.
Oh, Jesus.
Use the code.
Oh, yeah.
Use the code TenTenths. I used that all weekend. It was great. I did it for quick data review. I learned how slow my shifts to fifth are, which also means that I'm not.
Oh yeah. Well, then we're definitely onto something.
I was gonna say, like, you could watch the trace, and all of a sudden, I was like, "That's my fifth gear shift." It's real slow because I don't want to grind it. It's because it's not adjusted properly. But I learned that with my ApexPro. ApexTrackCoach.com. Use code TenTenths. 10% off with the window mount. Dusty, I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank you for wearing the "I crashed a Camaro into a corner station" shirt.
This is the official shirt of people that have wadded up a Camaro into a tire wall.
You earned that shirt good and proper. Not only did you design it, but you earned it.
God help
So
me.
congrats.
Yeah. I my condolences.
Someday we need to start paying that man for all the bullshit that he does for us.
We do. We've given him 5 years of free podcasts.
That's fair.
Yeah, I consider it payment for
That's a real
so
piss
many
boy.
hours, even though I had to ride back in complete and utter silence from Kansas on Sunday.
Hey, I had a week, man. I couldn't get my tires.
You think Robbie had a week?
Adam had a week.
I only worked 4 days and I almost did 50.
Yeah, he had a week. We could not do a podcast. Especially a real podcast because they're 3 hours.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Robbie and I had the conversation that like we could full slip angle this and I can talk to you on the phone while I'm working. And he's like, "Nah, man, we're not at that point." And I was like, "Good," because I don't think we are either.
There's no way we could do a 20-minute podcast.
Some of those end up being my favorite slip angles, and some of them it's like, okay, that was a show. Yep.
That's how I feel about these shows too. Even if they're 2 hours, I still feel like that wasn't it. But then there's weeks like this one. That's it. This is it.
It was a deal. I'm gonna get so many messages this week.
That's all right. That's the cost of fame, Adam.
Okay.
You very fame.
Sure.
Dusty, thanks for coming on. We'll catch everybody next week.